seen firsthand you could coexist. Get over it, holster it. Use this pain to outsmart these nitwits. Had to face these expectations. Had to push myself to make it. Amateurs wait for inspiration. I scope my bonus assassination. I can sit back and wait for death to ingest the pressure that's caught in my chest. Turn around and use it like a bulletproof vest and invest in the stress till nothing's left. All these would-be's, these could-be's couldn't see, they laughed at me. They still serving fast food. Now I'm headed to the top to the big leagues. Now they say they miss me. They wish me the best, they believe in me. I don't really care who I used to be, and all you want is the recipe. I keep calm, my head strong. Said it always fail, you're dead wrong. Found a place where I belong, so move along or get stomped on. My mind's tight, my chest tight. Play for best cause I paid the price. Got my money on Alex White, them bright lights, it's fight night. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. Could've gave up, gave in. Referred to myself as a has-been. Let it fade to black, let it end like that. Didn't come to lose, I came to win. All these mean mugs, these shoulder shrugs. Came through and got no love, no word of mouth, not talked about. Life suddenly felt like Fight Club. No saving grace, no stained glass. It's a baseball bat with a ski mask. My octagon was a bloodbath, not picture perfect, no Kodak. I stormed the gates of these lifeguards. Took what I wanted with a crowbar. A renegade, a diehard. I took charge with no jump start. Speak the truth and there's no debate. Ain't got time to fabricate, no time to waste. Can't contemplate, let's take a risk. Fuck playing it safe. These drama queens are stalemate. The king's a place and that's checkmate. They stone faced, I'm straight faced. I'm bored with the games that they try to play. Can't handle life, it's a blood sport. With no timeouts and no scoreboard. You can't ignore, get ready for war. Or the white coats and a psych ward. I've been there, I've done that. I've lost my mind and I've come back. My mind's right and my hands steady. Now I'm ready for combat. Another day, another struggle.
Hey guys, what's up? If you are watching on the channel Cold Beer Condemned, which is the channel that we have been on for the last week, I'm going to put a link in the chat over there because I need you to change channels, please. It looks like there's 10 of you over there. I'm in the chat right now, and I'm going to drop a link because I need so you guys see it and can join us in the right channel. Here we go. I appreciate it. Yeah, I see you, Russ. Another 15 of you over there. If you're on Cold Beer Condemned, please click the link and join us at my channel that I got back today, please. I would appreciate it. There's the link. I just dropped it again. Here's who it says is here. Now I don't know. You might not be here, but here's who it says. Dwayne Boudreaux Jr., Johnny T, Nick Baker, Russ, Susie White, and Yori, which I know that a couple of those are mods. Maybe that's why you're there, but that's who it says is on the wrong channel. You need to come to the link. Because I'm going to turn this one off in just a minute. I'm just trying to get everybody over to the new channel. Make sure you guys click the link and go to the other channel. Shady, J. Hyde, Ashbury. I know it's aggravating making the switch and trying to remember and where's this notification from. It gets old. Thank you, Yori, for dropping the link. If you want to hang out here and keep directing people, I'd appreciate it. I got to go get ready. The timer's probably almost out. It looks like most people are getting here. It's only showing. Let me refresh it. I know Johnny left. I know Jay Hyde Ashbury. It's showing GH, Dwayne, Nick Baker, Russ, Shady, and Susie. But we can work on it. There's two different channels. There's one called Cold Beer Condemned with 343 subs. I'm going to turn that one off. I need you at the other channel, which is what the link's for. It is Cold Beer Confessional Convictions. It takes a while to update, too. You might have already moved, and if you have, I apologize for saying your name over and over again. All right, guys, here we go. We'll try to get everybody over. Thank you, guys, for joining us. It takes a little bit to update. You might be here already. I see some people saying they already made it, so... I've had a couple weird days. I wasn't I haven't been feeling the greatest. I don't know if it's like the change in weather or situation that's going on lately. So this is actually going to be it's not going to be a very long show. I wanted to put this show out here to cover a video I didn't get a chance to cover. I wanted to let you guys know that we did recover the new main channel is back, and that's where I want everybody watching at because I'm going to turn off that other one soon. That's what the link in the chat is for. And I wanted to let you guys know nothing happened. Like, I was afraid if I didn't come on, everybody'd think I was struck down or something was wrong with me or who knows. Because I'm usually on all the time. So we're still going to do a show. It's just going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to cover one video, hang out, and have some fun. So let's get started, guys. I appreciate you joining me. Let's see if we can get some music playing.
Man, I can't talk to you now. Why do people call me while I'm on? No. Shut up.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Yeah.
It's some off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Uh-oh.
It's some off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. And yeah. Woo, woo.
And Mars in the house. Hey.
The jab, pine needle tea,
Underground Doms save the children.
Social Security card claims, birth certificate claims, Vatican Tunnel,
Medbed
martial law,
1745, 10 Days of Darkness, digging tunnels, Dogecoin, the Evergreen, 19, Vaseline, boom.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
It's some off.
Well, Johnny, you can go to Mommy's basement.
You better buckle up.
The Nazis were working with the reptilians.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. It's some off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet.
We are now the news.
Thank you for that, BT. That's BT's remix of our theme song. BT's remix, a song that Jay Reese wrote for us. Thank you to BT, Jay Reese, Groiper, @_Groiper, and Raina for the artwork. Or Groiper and Raina for the artwork, and BT and and Jay Reese for the music. And we always got Q Idiot running around. He's got websites and stuff. He does a good job too. I'm Will Bird. Thank you for joining us. This is the Cold Beer Confessional. If you don't mind, there's going to be a link that I keep putting in the chat. That'll be put in there several times. It's a YouTube link. Just click it if you're unsure of which channel you're on. I'm on 2 YouTube channels right now. I'm trying to get everybody back to the bigger channel that I was suspended from last week. I finally got it back tonight. I'm trying to get everybody to that channel. This usually takes a couple days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put half the show on both channels. But then I'm going to turn it off here in a few minutes. So if your channel goes off, that means you're on the wrong channel. You need to be at youtube.com/CBC Media Group. youtube.com/CBC Media Group. The name of the channel is Cold Beer Confessional Convictions, because we're casting down judgment now that they got us banned. No, but thank you for joining us. We had to go to a backup channel for a week. Now we got this channel back, which used to be our backup channel and is now our main. So if you're on YouTube, just make sure you're on the right channel. We're trying to get everybody there because I won't be broadcasting this channel all the time, and I don't want you guys to miss a video if you want to see the videos because you're on a channel that you found me when I was on, the backup channel or whatever. So thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. Make sure to like and share the video. Hell, if you're on that backup channel, like that one, then come over here and like this one. I don't care. Let's get everybody over here at the Cold Beer Confessional Convictions. I would appreciate it. There's 112 people here. It looks like 17 on the backup channel and still growing. So thank you guys for turning up tonight. I was telling people before some of you got here, this is not going to be a very long show. It's a weird time of the year for me. I'm not feeling the greatest, but there was a video that I wanted to cover that I touched on that I did not cover. I touched on some stuff that Bonafied said, and I never got a chance to cover it. And if I don't cover it now, I'm going to come back to something exciting. It's going to get thrown to the back, and I think we need to see it. This is Bonafied's plea for what's going on with his boy Doug. This is you guys know that they're both hosting their own shows now. We even saw Bonafied make a joke about Doug the other day. There's a picture of a fat guy on a scooter, and he said, "Oh, is that Doug?" And that they're not broadcasting together anymore. They're not traveling together anymore. They went their separate ways. And we saw what Doug said, that I got all the sponsors. Everybody came to me. I get all the numbers. I sell all the patches. Well, I'm fine. He can go do whatever he wants. So we need to see Bonafied side. So that's what we're going to watch tonight. Before we get started, make sure you like and share the video. It's very important, especially as we change channels and we're bouncing back and forth and stupid shit like this, to make sure that we're sharing the video out and liking it so more people will see it, hit the algorithm better. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And also, if you're on Facebook, like the video and like the page, and if you're on YouTube, like the video and make sure you're subscribed. You might have found me when I was on a different channel and you're not subscribed to this one or that one or the first one or whatever. We have to bounce around because of the mass reporting we get. You guys know if you want to go above and beyond that, there's no requirement, but if you want to go above and beyond that and support the show financially, you can go to cultclub.com, KULTKLUB.com, cultclub.com. I'm starting a bot that'll have that link. And there's also, especially if you're coming from Facebook, it's a lot easier to go to buymeacoffee.com/coldbeer. For some reason, that Cult Club just goes to Stream Elements. This is like a streaming, website. It's a website for streamers to register and take donations and do different things. A bot, shit like that. For some reason, if you come there directly from Facebook, it wants you to sign up. It wants you to sign up as a streamer. It doesn't want you to donate to me. It wants you to start your own stream, which is fine. You can start your stream if you want to, but you can't get to my page. It's very strange. So that's why I started to Buy Me a Coffee. It's a little bit easier at times, and I appreciate all the donations that's been coming in lately. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, a short video, short day. We're going to cover this Bonafied video, and I'm going to maybe get some extra rest or something. I don't know if it's the weather, the change in the weather. There's certain things about this time of year that take me back to some stuff that happens in the military. There's just, I don't know. It's like a perfect storm someday, and all day I felt like I had to get this done and that done and this done and that done. And from the moment I woke up, at 6 o'clock this morning, or no, 5 o'clock this morning. I felt like I was behind. I don't know. It's just my mind playing tricks on me, I guess. Either way, again, thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll talk about this video. This is on Bonafied's channel, which is Bonafied Truth. Bonafied Truth. Let me get it up to where you guys can see it, and I'll turn on the audio here. There's the video, and here's the audio's on. Here we go. Here's your stream. It's only, even if we watch the whole thing, it's only about an hour, but we'll probably skip around too, so we might have like an hour-long show.
All by myself. Hey, y'all, I'm all by myself.
Well, that was a pretty
we are not merely
pretty direct call to the elephant in the room, huh? All by myself. That's what Ollie sings. He cracks me up. He doesn't even know the song, but he heard somebody doing it like as a joke on a YouTube channel, and when people aren't around, that's what he does. He sings that.
transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another. But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
How y'all doing? Is this thing working?
How are they frauds? I don't know. All the lies that they're making up with zero proof.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
What about the multi-level marketing schemes they're signing their viewers up for, telling them that they can earn a decent income and it's an American job for Americans, when in actuality only about 15% of the people who ever sign up for those companies, including when you read their own income disclosure from that company, only about 15% even break even. The other 85% spend their time giving their money to people above them in the pyramid. Seems like a fraud there.
We got it all figured out. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hello, everybody. Los Angeles Patriot here. A Los Angeles Patriot. Warren, have you been looking for a U-Haul truck? Do I have an echo?
It takes him a minute to get started, and then his mic goes dead for a minute.
Right.
The whole thing's
PJ Johnson.
it's a wreck at the first.
I'm just testing which camera.
I don't think he's got, so it's a decent setup. He's got 3 cameras in there. I mean, I don't even have, well, no, I guess my main setup had 4 cameras, but there was only 2 of them on me back when we were in the studio at the house. But he's got a decent setup. I don't know why he's on the screen 3 times right now though. But
Camera 1, camera 2, or camera 3. Which one y'all like the best? We got it.
he's just flexing on them, flexing on them hoes.
Louisiana, Oklahoma. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. We got some things to talk about tonight. Got some exciting news. What's going on in the world? What is 3? Camera 3. Which one is that? This one? Or is that this one? Y'all like my Evil Knievel? Evil Knievel is my hero. I think the camera that y'all telling me is the best is the one that I got all my stuff on. I'm going to have to read. Kentucky in the house.
I would use the one with the best lighting, but whatever.
I heard he was Jesus, but I didn't ever know.
This bottom one has the best lighting. I don't know. He's kind of looking the wrong way, and his glasses are lit up here. But the colors and lighting in this one look kind of washed out. Suck.
Jesus slept with Marilyn Monroe. So, hey everybody, Grace, Tina, TT, Blue Collar Ray. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? As y'all can see, we on my brand. Well, it ain't brand new. I had it years ago.
Oh, by the way, a little side note. There's another channel that I own called Cold Beer Creations. I'm trying to build up to get a game night started this Friday. It'll either be this Friday or next Friday. On Cold Beer Creations. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. I'll go get the link in just a second, and I'll drop it in the chat. If you wanna participate in game night, you wanna watch game night, you wanna hang out, you wanna do just talk with us. It won't be like a regular show. There's gonna be 6 people playing a pretty complex game that I'm working on building right now. Actually, I just got Sharts and Yori's characters, all the paperwork and stuff build out on them, and I'm working on the models to have them 3D printed. It's actually we got those done. Josh is next, then M is tomorrow, and then all I have left is Raina and Zay.
To go using it with my drag racing stuff, and just now getting back.
Starting soon.
I've been kind of sailing in other places, if you understand what I'm saying.
I felt the same way you do when I first started. Yeah, a lot of people have told me that. Like, they come over here and got mad at me, or they wanted to wash my mouth out, or they thought I was, nasty and rude and horrible. And then all of a sudden they fell in lust. They couldn't get away from it. Thank you for the compliment, Joe.
Oklahoma in the house. Does anybody know how to turn the volume off on a iPad? Look here, folks. I'm going to have to turn this camera off. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's take this one out of here.
You mean they went to paid speaking events? Or they went to events that people donated for them to go to, or they went and sold merch, or they went and made content and got twice the amount of viewers and twice the amount of donations. I don't think they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart, if that's what you're trying to suggest. I also think they are physical beings that can show up in a location. I don't think they're made of, like, vapor or CGI. I mean, they're real things that can show up at rallies, sure.
Chat, leave. All right, folks. Now I don't have an echo. But I have to agree with you. I do believe that other camera is the best. Tammy, you used to go see Evel Knievel?
I actually appreciate Bonafied's stance here in this video more than I did when he was with Doug. Doug likes the JFK is Jesus, dumbs and aliens and baby farms and, the real out there shit that makes us look like fucking nut jobs. Bonafied actually takes a decent stand in this video, and that's another reason I'm showing it. I want to show that we've ribbed at, made jokes and played around with, aggravated Bonafied, but I mean he takes a decent stand here. And I appreciate that, so I can show him appreciation that way too. I mean, I'll still make jokes. That's just my personality. I use jokes to avoid having any type of emotions other than just laughing. So, but I do appreciate what he's doing here.
That's awesome. I'm gonna tell you what. I met him one time in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I had a Harley painted up like an American flag, and he was very impressed with the paint job. And y'all seeing double.
Hey, here, I'll drop it. At GS Crippler. At GS Crippler, you're still on the backup channel. I'm going to drop the link. Would you mind going to the main channel? I'm fixing to turn this one off. I just dropped it. I just put it in the chat over there on the backup channel. It should be a link that you can just click. It ends with, I think that's NT-E. But yeah, you should be able to click that link and go to the old backup channel, which is now the main channel. I'd appreciate it.
Seeing double. And he was already old and wasn't jumping anything. I guess it might have been a couple years before he died. Good fella. He's a hero of mine because he come from nothing, had a prison record, and absolutely faked it till he made it. And he's got some awesome stories about awesome stories about Evel Knievel out there. Let me see what.
Yeah, so here's what I personally think happened. I'm usually pretty good at, like, I mean, I'm all right at, like, reading people, but I'm really good at, if I watch somebody enough or hear somebody enough talk enough or see their interactions enough, I'm really good at context clues. So I feel like that Bonafied approached Doug and Mike at the time, but he was really interested in Doug. When he approached Doug, at the time, Doug had just lost Kirsten W. She was making him, run around, do crazy stuff, and I guess they were mean to each other, whatever. I don't want to get into he said, she said. Doug was kind of flailing his arms about looking for somebody to take him under his wing. So when Bonafied made the offer, of course, Doug, took him up on it. When Bonafied came in, he made some comments about channels that are like too out there, to JFK Jr., to 107, to Intel, Deep State Intel, and not enough about actual events that are happening. And after he made that comment once or twice, he went back to behind the scenes, and then Mike and Doug split. I think Bonafied had a lot to do with the Mike and Doug split. And then Bonafied come in as a co-host because Doug wasn't comfortable doing it himself. Maybe he didn't think he could do it. That's what I probably feel like. Doug doesn't seem to have a whole lot of self-confidence. That's why he freaks out when one person says something to him in chat. He freaks out, melts down, starts screaming and sending people to mommy's basement, and then trying to act like it. And also at the same time, he's saying it doesn't bother me, not one bit. It does. He doesn't have a whole lot of self-confidence. So Bonafied came in to be kind of the banter guy, kind of the back and forth, kind of to help get Doug through this portion. Doug saw his numbers dip. Doug saw other people's numbers growing. Doug saw intel that he wanted to report on that he believed, some of the crazier stuff he believed, but he knew that Bonafied wouldn't approve because the few times Doug did report on that type of shit, Bonafied told him, well, we're not going to do that. No, that's too out there. That you can't prove that. That's not real. Are you sure? Are you sure that came from a real website or real news or real this? That came from real raw news, didn't it? He called him out on it, and I appreciate that. And Doug finally had seen enough of other people grow. I think he was kind of jealous about what was going on with Mike's channel and how big he was growing. So he finally had a conversation saying, hey, I want to cover this. And he also admitted that he didn't want to promote. Bonafied came in saying, we're going to build a podcasting network with 10 or 15 other shows that's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It'll just be a different show in a different time slot over and over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over. Doug agreed to that. I thought it was an awesome idea, but after the split, Doug made it clear that he told Bonafied to his face that he would not be okay promoting any other podcast. He wanted to promote his podcast. Everybody else's podcast could go promote their podcast. He did not want to share that spotlight. He did not want to share his website. He did not want to be part of a network. He did not want to be part of any of that, and he wanted to report on the crazier intel shenanigans, the prisons on the moon and secret space rangers in Venus and shit like that, like him and Mike used to do. I think he made a mistake when he let Mike go. I think he should have held on to Mike. They had decent chemistry. I mean, like I picked on him and stuff and joked about him, but they seemed to get along good. But he let somebody come between that, and then kind of grass is always greener kind of deal, right? And now he's by himself, and who knows what'll happen. But I'm sure he's going to start reporting crazier stuff that Bonafied did not want him reporting when he was there, when his name was attached to it. All right, guys, real quick, if you're watching this video right now and it goes off, you're on the Cold Beer Condemned channel. Cold Beer Condemned channel. That is our backup channel. I've got the main channel back. I'm going to the main channel right now. I'm going to drop the link one more time over at Cold Beer Condemned in the chat, and I'm going to turn that channel off. So if the video goes off, you need to come find me at Cold Beer Confessional Convictions. Cold Beer Confessional Convictions. That's youtube.com/CBC Media Group. youtube.com/CBC Media Group. Cold Beer Convictions. Thank you for joining us over there. Hopefully you come hang out with us on the other channel. Have a good night. Okay, guys, the backup channel is down now, so I won't have to keep dropping that stupid link and keep saying the same thing over and over again. Let's hop into this, see what's going on. He goes through a period without the mic work, and he has a bunch of issues getting this thing started. Oh, actually, yes, I'm glad somebody said ML in chat. ML was the one who Doug actually wanted to bring on as the first person of his podcasting network. he wanted to, yes, you can always find me at coldbeer.live. He wanted to bring on ML as the first person to join their Bonafied network. ML is crazy. Him and Mike get along really good. So when ML came on with Doug while Bonafied was out of town, and then Bonafied did one show on Doug's channel. After that, we never saw ML again. We never saw ML again except for a little update where he claimed that he was in lockdown and he was panicked and he was in his fucking bug out shelter and all kinds of shit. His doomsday bunker. That was the only time we saw him again. Now, ML went to Mike because I believe Doug told him he couldn't be on his show anymore. So he went to Mike Penny's Legacy Grifting Network. And he went over there and I guess enjoyed, living up the good life of the Intel gods. But it was not going to fly with Bonafied there. So ML was very short-lived. And in Doug's latest video, latest video yesterday, he said we will have ML back now that I'm making the decisions. So I think that had to do a lot with Bonafied. No, the video didn't end. I can't. Do you guys see how hard it is sometimes to just communicate with people? Like I pay for a website that'll send you to whatever channel I'm on that day. I put links out. I tell people, okay, it's ending in 5 minutes. It's ending in 4 minutes. It's ending in 3 minutes. And then I keep dropping a link. I even tagging people and calling people out by name. And they're like, where's the video? It just stopped.
What we got here? Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. I have got to thank the Martellis. That ain't working.
That's right. ML is the negative 48 hookup, I think.
The Martellis have
more than either of those are.
With a whole bunch of things. I wish I could show you. Let me see if I can show you. See that right there? They give me that.
Mike Penny said, when someone said that negative 48 lied and it wasn't biblical what he said, Mike said, whoa. He didn't lie. What he did was give you something that wasn't absolutely true so you would talk about him while he wasn't live, and the next time you went live, you would come back and watch him. Then he said, that's the name of the game. We all do it. So someone called him out and said, Bonafied lied. That can't be true. That goes against the Bible, and I believe the Bible. Mike agreed, said he believed the Bible too, and he said he didn't lie. He didn't say this is truthful, 100% truthfulness I'm putting out. He put out some stuff that was untrue to make you upset, to make you think it was false, to make you talk about it, to gossip, to tell all your friends. And then because he lied to you, he knows that you'll show up at his next show. That's underhanded as fuck. To be a truther channel that lies to create cliffhangers. And then he goes on to admit it's the name of the game and we all do it. So clearly Mike does it. He's part of all, no?
They gave me this right here.
I'll skip this part where the audio goes out in a minute.
Give me a whole bunch of things. Miss Martelli and the Martellis are very giving people.
I appreciate you joining us, Carolyn, even though you're tired.
So is that the best one? This one right here in the middle seems like it's a little dark. What y'all think? South Carolina, Judith.
Oh, God.
Where you at? Judith, where
I'm going to skip ahead some.
Let's put them right here in the chat.
All right, this is where his audio goes back. I'm going to skip ahead till it comes back on.
Anyway, thank you there, Keith Beacon, Melissa and Wanda and RK. Oh, my God. Anyway, what I want to talk to y'all about is a little bit of my history and what I got going on, what I've had going on, and what I'm fixing to do. And I got the nickname Bonafied Truth for telling the truth, and I have pissed off a lot of people by doing that. But I want to let you know where this whole kind of internet thing deal started and where it's going and where I plan on going. And just basically pick up where I just left off because I didn't have no sound. So anyway, I went and started following Professor Toto, when he was, now they saying no sound again. I know good well I got sound. I got to test a microphone. Audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? See, I know I got sound. They must be delayed on their way. Anyway, Toto had a viral video, and he was a man telling the truth. And it was November.
The hell? Despise on other channels. No, I think it's just called watching channels.
The 4th. If I ain't mistaken.
Chains of Mod in other channels.
He had a video went viral, so I went and started following him. I started following him. I found out he was a preacher, and I started listening to his preaching. And me and my wife went January the 6th to D.C. That's when I met Brad. I didn't get to meet Toto. Matter of fact, we were sick, me and my wife.
That is the video of Brad as a literal January 6th lunatic walking down the street backwards, flapping his arm as if he's a flightless bird, screaming, "Da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da!" and then trying to get people to give him high fives after he does it, and they're just like giving him like side eye, like he's a crazy homeless guy. I'm pretty sure one guy's like, dude, I ain't got no money. I'm just going to the hotel. Let me get. And Brad's like, no, da. He's like, dude, I don't have any cash. I got just trying to push his way through.
Both was very sick with COVID, so we kind of stayed in a motel room. So make a long story short, on February.
No, Brad didn't go to the Capitol. Instead, he said that he was supposed to meet some people, and they were supposed to go to the Capitol building, and that's why he claims he was yelling today was that he said the people that he was supposed to meet, if they would have heard that, they would have known it was him and came to him immediately. But he never found them.
February the 11th, I decided to jump a plane and go to a Bible study in Waveland, Mississippi. On the way there,
that's right. Professor Toto is a convicted felon for insurance fraud, for stealing the identity of a 2-year-old child. He is not the one that I would trust with my money or let run a pack.
All of us had to wear masks.
Just like I wouldn't trust pedophile with my kid, I would not trust Professor Toto with my money.
And I was just praying. I was being obedient to God and going to where he tells me to go. And you would think, well, this man's crazy. He's going to Waveland, Mississippi to a Bible study. And that does sound kind of crazy because I could have watched it on the internet. But I just wanted to go and I wanted to clarify things. So I went there and I got to praying on the way there. And I asked the Lord about these masks. I couldn't figure out. Usually I can match stuff from history that's went on with history in America and how things have affected us. Usually history repeats itself, but I didn't really see any history on masks. So I prayed about it, and the Lord came to me and said that it is here to cover up your spirit. Now you got to remember, I'm flying on the way to see Professor Toto. Professor Toto is the first podcaster that I had ever met besides myself. So anyway, I got there and everything was, I met him and I told him what the Lord had told me, that it was that the Lord told me is to cover up your spirit. And what I mean by that is you don't have any emotions. You think about this. If everybody was sitting here doing like this the whole time, you can't tell if they're smiling, sad, mad, whatever.
See, it takes your spirit.
You see a Chinese guy across the street talking, and you know what mood he's in. So basically, it's to cover up your spirit.
To be fair, they always used to claim that the eyes were the windows to the soul, and through your eyes you could tell if someone was kind of smiling or happy. Their eyes and cheekbones, the surrounding parts, the parts that surround the eye. But I guess that's different now.
So I shared that with him. I came back on Valentine's Day, and I met my wife in Greer at a restaurant, and the guy who says I can't hear me now. One of y'all saying you can, one of you saying you can't. I done tested the volume now. Anyway, so I came back and we went to a nice restaurant.
Hey, BB, thanks for joining us.
And we went to a restaurant and there was nobody wearing a mask in a restaurant. I could not believe it. You got to remember, on Valentine's Day, that was when the mask deal was huge. So we went in there, and it totally changed the atmosphere. You got to see everybody that was smiling. It was the first time in months we'd seen a waitress smile, or whatever the case may be. It totally changed the whole. It was like we was in a twilight zone. It was back in 2019. So that was the Lord confirming me that I was on the right path, I guess you would say.
There you go.
So I went from there, and then
he felt basically what he's saying is he felt like he was reaching out to God. He had a close relationship. He was praying to God, and God was leading him to do these things. God was leading him to go to Professor Toto. God was leading him to speak up. God was leading him to share information. God was leading him in all these directions, and he was following. And he felt like that was the right thing to do.
A couple Mondays later, I went to Greg Locke's, shared that vision with him, and shared other things with him. I left there, and I went to Brad's, and I met Brad Barton, shared that with him. And also, I was just putting these pieces of the puzzle together, so how these things was going together. How the government was tricking us. Obviously, there's a lot of
funny chained
going on. And so I got on this path of telling the truth. So what I've done is when I would do a little research, I would give these guys and others my opinion. Next thing you know, they was all putting me out there. And the very first, I guess, show that I went on was Brad's show. So that's the first time in the political world that Bonafied was ever seen. Now, in the drag racing world, everybody knew me, but in the political world, basically nobody knew me at all. And I was just like most of you. I was totally asleep on all this stuff. And so
Brad showed him the fall of the cabal, and then that was it. That's all he needed.
That meant
he's actually from in between Greer, South Carolina, and Greenville, South Carolina, which is just like it's a 10-minute drive. No, it's probably like a 15, 20-minute drive from Greer to Greenville. They're pretty close. The biggest city closest to them is definitely Greenville, South Carolina.
And said, I started feeding these people information that was just my opinion. Okay. So, hello.
This is like the weird bragging thing he does. He's saying these people that were podcast hosts, I would, just give them my opinion, and they would take that and repeat it on their podcast, and it would be an awesome show. So why am I not just giving my opinion out there?
Calpins, Mike Staggs. And that's...
Oh, I miss the bishop too. The bishop blows the bitches down. The reason that we haven't covered... I know the news that broke tonight on Jesse. I'm waiting to see some more confirmation before I say anything about it. I'm very skeptical of anything she says, anything Jeff says, anything any of them say. But the reason I haven't covered that much is because I felt like I did a really good job covering it before, even though we lost that video now since the main channel's gone. But I felt like I did a really good job covering it there, and now I'm building a new thing to put together to get a new video out. And I guess I'm going to have to cover the stuff I've already covered, plus the new stuff I've got. I had some people bring me some information that were extremely close with that group, that person, those channels, and I got a new show. I just got to put it together. I don't want to piecemeal it out. I want a whole show where everything goes together, and it just goes together well. A whole show.
That's kind of how I got this whole thing started, and I didn't really want to do my own show. And I tell you the reason for that is because it's a lot of work, and you got to understand that this takes a lot of work. Brad Barton has put his life.
So, with two things. It is a lot of work to do all the research, review all the videos, check all the emails, fact check all the claims, put it all... like when I do a show, it's a lot of work. It really is. Like, I'm not saying it's hard work, and I'm not saying it's a hard job. It's just a lot of things to do, a lot of boxes to check. I've had much harder jobs. I mean, I was in the military. I worked construction and maintenance and shutdowns, and I'm not trying to make that argument. Like, I've got such a hard job. But it is hard for one man to host, do all the prep work, do all the research, do all the fact checking, and fucking put it out 7 nights a week or 5 nights a week or whatever you do. It's a lot of shit in an amount of time. None of it hard, none of it complicated, none of it will break your back or make you sweat. It just doesn't seem like there's enough time to get it all turned around. So I've even reached out for help from different people before and had people help me research things that were just too big for me to get through all the information and stuff like that. So I do understand that, and I'll agree with him. Where I want to disagree is in Brad Barton's show. Brad Barton's show, 99%, well, let's say 90% of the time, when he doesn't have an actual live guest on, is him scrolling through a Facebook group, a Facebook message group saying, y'all gonna love this one, and throwing it up. Isn't that a good one? Oh, Trump is good because God is good. It's a joke. He literally is part of a rumor mill on Facebook, and he plays those videos. He's even been called out for it because he's stealing other people's content, other people's edited videos. iDrop Media, another fucking patriot who makes amazing videos. The animations, it's all 3D and CGI. He probably puts hundreds, if not thousands of hours into those. And Brad never even mentions his name, just plays his video and says, wasn't that a good one, guys? I got something that's going to blow your mind next. Another video that's not mine. Like that, there's no prep work for that. Like, I understand, I'm not saying he can never play anyone else's content. He can. But when it's just you watching it and then laughing at the end, that's too close to a direct copy. You have to have some original thoughts. You have to use it when you're talking about fair use, which is the law that protects us for reviewing videos and speaking on other people's contents. There are 4 or 5. Is it 5 or is it 4 tenets? This one says 4, but I thought it was 5. Anyways, there are 5 different ways that you can use it, I think. Let me see, make sure I get them all right. Personality test, history, fair use, Supreme Court. The purpose of the character use included such as commercial nature is for non-profit or educational purposes. The nature of the cop. Oh, that's something else. That's what makes it everything fair use. Hold on just a second. Let me Google it this way. Fair use. Because I play other people's content, but it's to literally get their insight so I can tell you where I disagree with it. It's for satire. All right, here it is. You can use someone else's video as long as you're transformative, which transformative means it's not a one-for-one copy. I don't just play their video and then giggle at the end or say something at the end. I stop it, we break it down, we research it. We might go from here and research a document he mentions like we did last night or whatever, right? So it is transformative. It has to be transformative. That's the first step. Then it has to be in the use case of education, satire, parody, criticism, review, or news reporting. So there is 5 because I don't consider news reporting as one, but education, satire, parody, criticism, review. You can't just say, I got a good one for you guys, and just play it and even mute your mic and just sit there, and when it's over say, wasn't that a good one, guys? Now let's go to this next one. Like, yeah, you're not protected under fair use, and I don't think a court would hold that up. But I know for a fact that people criticizing and doing parody and satire over a video like I do has already been held up in 2 California courts just last year on YouTube. So I know mine's protected, but they didn't do what you do, man. You just watch it and giggle. And even not mention who it's from, not put your own watermark over top of it, never say their names, never give credit, never do anything. You're I know that movement is a bunch of hypocrites, because just today I got this comment. We've known that they claim that they're the Patriots. They claim that they are They claim that they're the patriots. They claim that they're constitutionalists. They claim that they're going to fix it and make the country constitutional and this and that. And then they tell me that I shouldn't have a channel because they don't like what I'm saying. Well, I thought we were about constitutions. I thought we were going to do free speech and stuff. Wasn't that something we were going to do? What weren't we going to do free speech? Oh, sorry. Anyways, I got this comment today, and I think the irony is in the username. The irony is in the username. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Damn it, where did it go? It's right here. It should have been right here. Did they pull it from my notifications? Because he commented again. YouTube didn't post it. I was hoping it would stay up, but he commented again. That might be why it's gone. Oh, here it is. The username here, I know this is hard to see. Here, let me blow it up. The irony here is 1,000% in the username. Let me blow up my notifications tab here. The username, this is the video where it says, when you speak the truth, they attack, and they tried to ban me for calling them out for not doing their research, okay? That's the video. It's talking about me being banned from my main channel because I told people that they were wrong. I proved it with the information I gathered from a 3-month investigation. I did a 3.5-hour video to prove it, and then they ignored it, and all I asked for was a retraction. Just say, hey, we were wrong about that. But instead, I got mass reported for standing up and saying y'all are wrong. Anyways, the name of the channel is Fight for Freedom. Now, what comes to your mind when you think of fighting for freedom? Wouldn't you think Patriot and Constitution and freedom of speech and Second Amendment? All the amendments, they're all good. Let's get the Constitution up there, right? We all get to say it's freedom of speech. You can say what you want. Don't censor me. Don't big tech, keep your hands off what I post. But fight for freedom. Fight for Freedom is the name of the channel. And when I get banned for proving something someone said was false, and their fans get angry and mass report me, this is what I get in return. Fight for Freedom says, good, I hope they take him off of every platform. Total scumbag you are, Will. Not only is he happy that I was silenced on my original platform, he wants me silenced from the internet. I cannot have a voice on the internet if it was up to him because he does not like what I say. He thinks I should be removed from every platform because he does not like the words that come out of my mouth. And his name is Fight for Freedom. I don't understand how the people can't. I mean, pot, this is worse than pot and kettle. This is just black meat black. Black meat black. Now, the person they say is not a patriot, he's not a constitutionalist, he doesn't believe in the Constitution, he doesn't believe in our rights, he hates you, and he wants to kill your babies in the farms. I have asked repeatedly for no one to report. Everyone should be able to post. Every video should go up, and we ought to be able to debate it. If we don't like it, we ought to be able to pull it up and say, this is where I think he's wrong. This is what I believe. Here's my proof. Not, oh, they banned him for saying some bad words. Good for him. I've begged people and banned people who wouldn't shut up about they were going to go report somebody. I banned them from my community. But Fight for Freedom says, good, he should be banned from every platform. I don't understand how they do not see this. You are not a patriot. You are not in favor of the Constitution. You are not the savior of the U.S. You are nothing like the rest of us. You just hijacked a name that related to us. Fight for Freedom's a cool name. I would like to have that name for a channel. Maybe if I did something and maybe it was about, protesting or showing up and doing audits at the local government places or something like that. That's a cool name. You stole it because you have no idea what freedom is. And you damn sure aren't fighting for it. I hope big tech gets you everywhere they find you. I'm on the side of big tech and freedom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What a fucking joke. You have no idea what freedom is. I wish you'd spend some time fighting for it. You may appreciate it more. Anyways, we know that that's not out of their playbook. They're willing to do that. They want to never be censored. No one can ever disagree with them. No one can ever, I'm sorry. They want to never be censored. They don't want big tech to ever shut them down. They don't want any words on social media off limit for them. They want to be able to talk about COVID and that and this and that and everything else all together. They want to be able to do all of that. But when you disagree, they want you immediately banned. When you say that's not true, they want you immediately banned. They will not only ban you, but before they ban you from their chat for disagreement, they will report you. They will leave you muted when they tell you you can call in. They will report you and ban you while you're gone and wait for you to come back and ban you again. And then they'll pray to the heavens, the gods of big tech, and say, man, that's a good, they did a good job today. I hope they catch you again. I hope they find you everywhere you go. You're a scumbag, and I'm for freedom. You can't be both. You cannot be pro-freedom of any form or fashion and be pro-big tech censorship. Just because I'm the one they got today doesn't mean they're not coming for you tomorrow. And you're standing on their side, cheering them on. What? So you're going to be the last one deleted? You'll still fucking get deleted. We're all going down. As long as you keep standing there cheering for them.
Life on hold for the last, he told me a while ago, 11 months.
So this is where he's talking about Brad. I don't think Brad's job is hard. I think him watching and Googling, and that's where I kind of got off on the tangent. He's okay with playing everybody else's stuff. So Brad's okay with playing everybody else's videos. That's what we were talking about. I Drop Media and everybody else's videos and just giggling. But Brad told me when I showed a portion of one of his videos and then I looked up and found out how wealthy he was and what he had going on with that wealth and with his pyramid scheme, he told me that he was going to sue me for talking about how much money he made. And talking about him leaving his wife on her birthday and going to stay with somebody else at an event down in Tulsa to be patriot. So he's going to sue me over his information, but he plays someone else's information every day. That's his entire show. Guys, check this out. Wasn't that awesome? Man, I can't wait till I can give Trump a hand job in person. What?
Since he's touched his business, thank God he's got a business that pays good. But and he can leave it alone. But basically, he's put his life on hold for 11 months now.
Brad has we were talking about. I'm in another group with a bunch of creators who are kind of fed up with the multi-level marketing grifter, over the top QAnon claiming scammers, right? Some of them believe in the Q narrative, and I don't. Some of them do, but they're not the over-the-top. Like Jordan Sather. Remember when we had Jordan Sather on? There are people like Jordan Sather, where they're like, well, I believe this, but I don't believe all this crazy stuff. I think your disinformation is making us look bad. Anyways, I'm in a group with people like that, and we were talking about the multi-level marketing, and it got me thinking about Brad, and Brad leaving his job for a year and whatever. Brad is in a pyramid scheme. And Brad became a millionaire from a pyramid scheme. And in Brad's pyramid scheme, you have to sell memberships to a website that you can shop through, and you log in, you get your membership, you get your password, you pay for it yearly, I think you have to pay yearly. You log in, and that allows you to log into that website, and then say you want to go shop at, I don't know, Kinko's. You have to log into your pyramid website first and then click Kinko's there, and it'll log you into Kinko's, and then you buy stuff there and you get discounts and money back. It's almost exactly the same as just having a rewards debit card or a rewards credit card, except you have to pay someone and you have to sell this stupid fucking pyramid scheme. It's not worth it. They're never worth it for most people. But Brad became a millionaire off of it because he got enough people underneath him. Now, that's very, very, very rare unless you're like a big public YouTube star, which Bonafied's doing it. All of them are doing it right now. Nino's doing it. They'll probably get a lot of people under them. But the people that they're telling this dream to, like, you can be rich too, you can make money, they never will. They see 30 people a week. All of them are their families, and they don't want to buy all natural botanical butthole oil. They're not into it, okay? They don't want it. But the way pyramid schemes are set up, when they say he stepped away from his job, it's not like he was in charge of keeping an eye on, 300 fucking trucks that are transporting freight all over the United States, and can I step away? And there's been a massive crash, or he's doing logistics, or he's doing construction, or he's building houses, or he's doing shutdowns at paper mills, or he's out running a shrimp boat in the bayou. Like, his job is a pyramid scheme. All he has to do is he has to meet a certain number of points. As long as his pyramid stays and not many people quit, he has to meet his points. He has to meet his minimum point requirement to be eligible for his bonus, and then enough people below him have to hit their points, which means they have to spend enough money through the pyramid scheme, the online website, and if they hit their points, then he gets money. That's it. He just tells the wife, hey, we need to spend another $600 this month. For the month's up, we need to spend another $600 through the pyramid website. And then make sure you call Tracy and her husband. They've got somebody on their team that still needs to spend a couple $100. Okay? Stop acting like he's doing some type of great fucking service for the country because he left a pyramid scheme that he literally doesn't have to do anything for. He didn't just walk off the job as being a nuclear plant operator and hope everything goes well. He doesn't have to do anything, guys. He's a fucking pyramid scheme. It's set up. The people at the top are literally set up to make money. The problem is you'll never be at the top, and they keep telling you and chastising you and telling you that you're not working hard enough or you would be at the top. We can't all be at the top of a pyramid.
And I know a lot of people that have. So, that being said, I have decided that I'm going to jump in with both feet. The Lord has been giving me these visions and giving me these
no neck
to go out and promote this stuff. I jumped on it wide open. So this right here is the first debut show of Bonafied Truth, and it'll be bonafiedtruth.tv. So I just want to let everybody know that I've actually gone out on my own and beyond circumstances that I can control. But I will tell you one thing. I'm kind of glad that
he's going to be on his own. He does say beyond circumstances that he can control. So that means it sounds like maybe Brad flipped out on him. I'm sorry, Doug flipped out on him. We do know Doug's the type to just randomly flip out. Whether he's going to claim later that he was possessed by the devil, which has been one of his claims. I'm sorry, the devil. Which has been one of his claims when he flipped out and called Kirsten W. a $20 Chinese whore, or when the few times he flipped out on Mike, the times he flipped out on all of his chat and claimed they were all me. Oh, we know that you're all Cold Beer Confessional. Stop it. And I wasn't even on the channel. I have no idea what he's talking about. He's quick to flip out like that. Because again, I think it has to do with his self-confidence. He has to be quick and defend that and stand up, because if he lets it fester any little bit, it takes everything he has. He'll quit. He'll buckle. He'll fold. I've seen plenty of people like that.
That it happened this way, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And I'm going to explain to you some things about me and how I'm a little different than everybody else. And but I'm going to start here with a story from my childhood. So when I was a kid, I grew up. I didn't necessarily grow up on a farm. My daddy worked in the mill, but I was around a whole lot of farmers. And I was working at peach field some when I was a kid. And I noticed that when me being in, noticing these farmers and what they had, you had regular farmers like my grandpa and other farmers around that had what I call
That's right, Mark.
crops, just corn, little simple stuff. They never had the big houses. They never had the big nice trucks. They never had the big.
That's exactly right. One of the Frogs' biggest things that they did was literally an entire show where Mike and Doug told people, if you were ready to turn in, if you've been listening to them and you used the birth certificate calculator online, which they were using wrong, and you knew how much your birth certificate and social security card was worth, it was time to call the Treasury. They even gave out the U.S. Treasury's phone number and told people the exact quote was, this is the number, U.S. Treasury. You want to call them with your birth certificate claims, your social security card claims, guys. The U.S. Treasury is now paying out in 2 to 3 weeks direct deposited into your bank for birth certificate claims and social security claims. So many people called the Treasury, and the Treasury said, absolutely not. That is an old-ass conspiracy. It's not true. Your birth certificate is not worth a bond or a stock, or we're not trading you as cattle or ships or whatever you think we're doing. You cannot use that as a bond number. In fact, trying to defraud the government and using your birth certificate number as a bond number and saying it's a bond is a felony, and we'll give you one chance to remove your request, and if you don't remove it after 30 days, we pursue that in court. So many people called that I called and recorded it. The lady answering the phone, if you said something about birth certificate or bond number or cashing in, she would say, excuse me, were you by chance sit here by a YouTube channel? And I said, and she said, the Frog News Network? And I said, I don't know. And she's like, let me tell you. First of all, it's a federal crime to try to defraud the government for financial gain, especially through, fraudulent means like faking a bond and shit. And she went down the whole spiel and told it to me. So many people had called, they had already trained their employees of how to respond that day, in one day. The next day, they immediately came back on the show and said, we need to address something right now. I did not tell you to call the Treasury. Doug did not tell you to call the Treasury. Fraud News Network didn't call you to the Treasury. Maybe if you're not smart enough to know how to call into the Treasury and get your money for your birth certificate without telling them we told you to, then you just need to wait on Nasara Gassara. I'm going to get mine. What the fuck? That's your thing? They did what you told them. You've had them brainwashed for months. And they did what you told them, and then you lashed out at them because they mentioned that you told them. You didn't tell them not to say your name. You didn't tell them to pretend like it's a secret bond that you lost and not your birth certificate. You just told them to call. Your exact words are, you just call and give them this number and you have to know how much it's worth. And then you corrected and said a ballpark for how much it's worth. So around the number, close to the number.
Tractors, trucks, tractors, big brick houses.
Oh, sorry. Last thing. Mariah is feeling better. Her ear's been doing better. I've been doing like a nighttime surgery on it and trying to get in there, trying to loosen shit up, fucking with it and stuff. I don't think she's in here right now. If she is, she's probably in and out. There was a movie night after taco night at the campground, and she was letting the boys watch it, and then they got to get ready to go to bed immediately, and she said she would be late to the show. She might not make it at all tonight. We'll see.
But the peach farmer did. And I learned a big lesson on that. When you put a peach tree up, it takes a couple years for it to go. to bear fruit. And I learned some things from these farmers that they took the risk.
I don't know what you mean they kicked it back eventually, but if your son sold his Social Security card, it was to an illegal immigrant that you helped get a job. Your Social Security card is worth $0. $0.
And had to put the time and effort into
I take that back. It's worth $7.75 if you have to print a replacement. But I don't think anybody'd give you that for it. You have to pay that.
Peach trees and peach orchards. And what I mean by that is they didn't see any kind of profit for a couple years. They just had to basically go by faith, if you understand what I'm saying. I remember when I was a kid that these peach tree guys, these peach farmers, they would go out if there was going to be a frost and they would wrap their trees with plastic, and they took a lot of chances and put a lot of faith in.
I mean, that's true most of the time. Usually the person who owns the business, who made the investment, who's the person who's going to get the most return from the business also takes the most risk. So if I own a business and you guys all work for me, let's say I own a pizza restaurant, and I own the building, I own the equipment, I own the sign, the little bell that goes ding ding when you drive through, I own the salad bar and the register, I own everything in the building. And you're just an employee. You work at the register, you throw the pizzas in the oven, blah, blah, blah. And I make a substantial amount more than you. And you come to me and say, hey, I want to make the same amount as you. I think we should meet in the middle. Of course, I'm going to go to, okay, but where's your investment for half the building? Half the pizza oven, half the salad bar, half the little ding ding thing at the drive-thru, half the cash register. And if you're not going to do half the investment, if tomorrow no one ever shows up again and we go out of business, are you going to help me pay half my bills? Are you going to cover half of my debts to all the creditors? Are you going to help me pay off this pizza oven that I spent $26,000 on? And have to maintain and get it remodeled every 3 years and inspected, and all that costs money. Are you going to do that? So that's typically the argument, is the person who puts the most in. Yes, he reaps the most rewards, but he also takes all of the risk. While an employee gets some of the rewards, right? They get a payday, and they take none of the risk, but I also know there's an argument for some companies making money hand over fist and using the cheapest absolute labor they possibly can and treating people like shit. I'm not for that either. I'm not for taking a job that should be paid at, $15, $20, $25 an hour and trying to find anybody who will do it for $7. And then treating them like shit, no breaks, no this, no that. I'm not for that either. The answer is obviously somewhere in the middle, like with most things.
Their crops. But they also got the greatest rewards. And that being said, they the ones that had the big nice trucks. They the ones that had the big nice cars. They the ones that had the big pretty tractors and the big old nice houses. So but you got to understand, a peach tree, when it grows, it puts out fruit forever until you cut it down. And it has so much fruit on it.
Yeah, I used to be the cold beer confessional, but ever since Mark and Carolyn started getting here before I go live, the place seems to be dry by the time I get here. Uh-oh. Donation.
Everyone is going to need to have a sound mind to get through what we are dealing with. You will find the stability you will need to keep you grounded, through laughter. Welcome to all the new people in here tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not, if you're a new person here and you don't really know who I am, I'm not the guy you're going to go to for inspiration. I'm not the guy you're going to go to for a battle plan or to fight the system. I've already done that. I'm a disabled combat veteran. I got combat PTSD, 2 traumatic brain injuries, and some other issues. I've done all my fighting and this and that. Now, I'll stand up when it's time for me to stand up to protect my family or my way of life and shit like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you come to my channel, it's to laugh and get away from stuff for a while. Even if you like that creator, we can still laugh. Some people I like, have a funny voice, or they say words a funny way, or they cover content that I think is ridiculous sometimes. That's my little piece of the pie. I'm just here to help people laugh for a few hours, and then you can go back to whatever you want to be worried about. Because I know that's what I spend all day doing with my PTSD. I literally worry all day, and then I get this little glimmer of live stream where I can just go laugh and have fun and not be worried about everything else around me. And then it's good for you. There's still plenty of worrying to be done once the show's over. But for the, few hours that I'm live, I get a chance to just laugh and have fun. And that's what I'm here for. So if you guys want to hang out, laugh, and have fun, cool. If you think you would be better served planning a giant riot and reloading, 7.62 by 39 millimeter shells in your basement with the lights off so the government can't see you, I can't help you. I'm here for the laughter part.
That it breaks the limbs that you have to go.
Thank you, Shar.
Off of it. Now you don't have to do that. Well, I guess you can on tomatoes, but anyway, what I'm saying is there's a lot more profit in there. And that's a lesson that I learned when I was a kid. And what I want to tell you is I'm the kind of guy that it's different. There was not many peach tree guys in town. There was only regular farmers. But the ones who grew the peaches had the most money because they had patience and they waited. And that is me.
Oh, it's the old Chinese proverb. You must wait for mini peach. Big money. When he was talking about when the frost was going to come, they would wrap the trees in plastic. They do that. But let me tell you something else weird that happens. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but I went to school with, he was actually my quarterback when I played football. His family owns a giant strawberry. It used to just be strawberries and tomatoes that they grew, and now they grow all kinds of different fruits in smaller quantities, but it's mostly strawberries and tomatoes. There's even a strawberry festival here, and they grow a shit ton of tomatoes and ship them all over the world. But they own a big, industrial farm. It's not like somebody's farm in their backyard. It's their business, and it's been their family business for, I don't know, 100, 150 years, something like that. Anyways, they grow their strawberries and stuff, and one of the things you try to do when you have a farm is you do try to get it out there earlier. You try to predict when the last frost is going to be. You try to predict when's the earliest I can get it out there, and that means I can be first to market. Maybe I can get a second harvest. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. And some years they put them out too early, and the frost is going to come. But with strawberries, instead of wrapping them in plastic, which wouldn't be feasible for every little plant, a lot of times it is for, fruit trees. They're pretty good size, and they're not planted real close together. That wouldn't be feasible for every little plant, and, even covering the whole row in plastic. If you got a shit ton of rows and they go on forever, it might take some time if the frost you just now got a frost warning, right? It's going to frost tonight. People said it wasn't going to happen, but now it is. They will actually take and go down to the farm and turn on their sprinklers and freeze ice over top of the strawberry plants, the fruit, the stalk, the leaves, a layer of ice over top the strawberries. And freezing the strawberries being stuck in this frozen cocoon of ice actually protects them from getting frostbite or the plant dying. I mean, you might lose some, but the majority of them stay there. It protects them, it insulates them from the weather, and then after that, the next day, it all melts, runs off, and waters the plants. This shit's wild. I would have never thought you could just freeze water on top of strawberries to protect them from the cold. That doesn't make sense to me. Didn't at the time, but it works for sure. I've seen them do it.
I see visions and I put faith out there way further than anybody else does. Now, everybody else usually looks to Friday getting a paycheck. And that is where I'm at, is I got some big visions that I want this to go to. I want this podcast to go to. And I've got some big plans. But I just wanted to show you the things in my childhood that I paid attention to that has changed my life. I never was the one to want to go work in a cotton mill. You know, I basically was born to replace my father in the cotton mill. My daddy was not educated. I'm not educated. And they didn't really care anything about education in the South because we was there to replace our fathers in the cotton mill. And I just wasn't the one. I guess I don't know if I'm different, if I think different, or whatever the case may be. But that's a little bit. That's a little bit of a story that I want to tell you tonight, and how I'm going to separate myself from others. Another thing that I want to tell you about.
That's how he separates himself from others. He's more patient. He sees the way to make money. He does. He's not lying about the making money. He started a few successful businesses. That's actually true. He's started a few, sold a few, still owns a few. Bonafied Battery is one of his businesses. He's got a couple different ones.
Is where I plan on going with this. Bonafiedtruth.tv is the website that I've got. And I want to be able to encourage people to get out there and get involved with their local politics, their local school boards. And there's a lot of podcasters out here that are putting stuff out there that is absolutely not true. You know, and, you know, if JFK Jr. is alive, that's great, but it don't affect me a bit. And I promise you, it's not going to affect you a bit either. If Michael Jackson is alive, if whatever the case may be. I've even heard that JFK was Jesus here lately. So I've never read scripture where Jesus had sex with Marilyn Monroe. So the stuff is getting a little crazy with the folks that I know that put these videos out there. And I have got to separate myself. I want to wake people up and get them involved in their local community. And that's just, if my vision, I may not have a whole lot of followers, but I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to try to get out there and get people involved. So that's where I'm at on it. I just want to let everybody know that that's my vision. All right.
That's his vision. He laid it out there. Here we go.
We was there to replace our fathers in the cotton mill. And I just wasn't the one. I guess I don't know if I'm different, if I think different, or whatever the case may be. But that's a little bit. That's a little bit of a story that I want to tell you tonight, and how I'm going to separate myself from others. Another thing that I want to tell you about is where I plan on going with this. Bonafiedtruth.tv is the website that
That's his website.
And I want to be able to encourage people to get out there and get involved with their local politics, their local school boards. And there's a lot of podcasters out here that are putting stuff out there that is absolutely not true. You know, and, you know, if JFK Jr. is alive.
Yeah. We'll talk about that some other time. It's not tonight. Not until we get some proof. Not until I'm building another show. Let's not turn the whole chat to Jesse.
That's great.
But yes, I did hear it.
And
I talked about it earlier.
If Michael Jackson is alive, if whatever the case may be. I've even heard that JFK was Jesus here lately. So I've never read scripture.
By the way, I saw the hit and run. I do not think it was a hit and run. At least the video I watched, he was the only person involved in the accident, in a vehicle accident. 17 years old. Sounds like he was a solo driver in a crash. Not a hit and run. If it was only one person involved, I don't think it could have been a hit and run.
Where Jesus had sex with Marilyn Monroe. So the stuff is getting a little crazy with the folks that I know that put these videos out there. And I have got to separate myself. I want to wake people up and get them involved in their local community. And that's just, if my vision, I may not have a whole lot of followers, but I'm going to tell the truth and I'm going to try to get out there and get people involved. So that's where I'm at on it. I just want to let everybody know that That's my vision. All right.
That's his vision right there.
Let's talk about something else. Thank you, Jenny. Brown House, Keith Blanton. How y'all doing? I do got some crazy news today that a guy
Okay.
got off the phone with. I'm going to tell y'all something. One thing that's bothering me is this camera keeps on going out of focus on this, and it gets light and bright. I don't know if that's affecting y'all or not. But I was told in Lebanon, Missouri, yesterday or this week, there was a cannibalism house raided by the local police where it was basically like
Oh.
Amityville Horror. So I don't know. I hadn't heard anything. This guy called me, gives me the intel 2 minutes before I started. I do want to bring that up. So if anybody's heard anything about Lebanon, Missouri, and a house of what do they call that thing? Where they eating people? It ain't pedophiles, but you know what I'm talking about. So hold on 1 second. Let me get some things up here so we can talk about it. I also want to tell y'all.
So, by the way, the story that I heard about the house, by the way, was just that they were suspects in the missing case of I think her name's Cassidy Rainwater. They've been arrested. The house ended up burning down. It belongs to one of the people that was arrested. There were 2 people arrested in connection with this Rainwater case. One of them's name was Phelps, and the other's name was Norton, I think. Phelps and Norton, maybe Northern. No, Norton. But anyways, the neighbor just randomly claims that they had heard that stuff like cannibalism and human sacrifice and stuff went on in that home. There hasn't been any official paperwork. There hasn't been anything documented. There hasn't been anything from like the police department or investigation or this or that. The neighbor heard from someone else, so it's immediately hearsay, that there was stuff like cannibalism and human sacrifice that went on in the house, and the neighbor never reported it until, after all this was said and done, after the arrest happens. So I think that's as far as it goes so far. And you got to remember how rumors spread. Who knows? Honestly, who knows what's going on with it? I'm excited. Not for, of course, there's someone missing and still missing, and who knows what her fate is. I'm excited to see a police report and kind of cut through all the shit that's going on around it. You know what I mean? I hate the phase where someone gets picked up, someone gets charged, someone does this, someone does that, and it's, immediately these people are this, and I heard this, and what about this rumor over here, and I heard we had a business shutdown right at the start of COVID that people thought was being sold and transferred, but actually shut down a big business here in our town. And people started screaming like, "Oh, the craziest rumors you ever heard!" Like, "Oh, he got caught cheating, and his wife's shutting it down, selling it, and taking half of it. He stole a bunch of money from the bank, and they figured it out. I saw the FBI in there seizing all the computers. They're probably charging him with something." Like, it's crazy how rumors fly, especially in a small town.
What I done yesterday that absolutely blowed my mind, that I could not believe, is I went to this meeting right here. This meeting right here was for
pastor gathering.
Wives
Awesome.
in North Carolina. And it blowed my mind because many times.
Well, you're not a pastor, so did you go as a wife? Are you trying to tell us something here? It was only for pastors and their wives, and we know that you're not we know for sure that you're not a pastor because you just said that. So what's left that you could be?
Times I have tried to get churches involved with getting the word out there about the truth, about the politics and all this, that, and other. And they have shut me down many times that they said they was not going to mix it in. So when I heard about this meeting right here, I decided I was going to go and to see if I could get in. I didn't know if you had to show.
I'm not saying it won't be true. It could be. The neighbor may have heard the one person who knew that human sacrifice and cannibalism went on in a house in this town and didn't report it. And then the neighbor, even after hearing it, didn't report it, and all that was true. But I'm saying a much more likely story is that they were just fucked up people doing fucked up things, kidnapping, attacking, no satanic shit, or maybe they were, who knows. But rumors get blown out of proportion more often than everybody stays calm and sticks to the facts. Much more often. It's very rare you have to, like, when something major happens in a small town or with crime or with the police, somebody has to come in and says, hey guys, let's get more excited about this. Let's pump it up. Let's amp it up. Let's make the story a little bit bigger. Most people are like, hey, let's calm down. We don't know that yet. Wait for the investigation. We wait. We're innocent until proven guilty. It's usually the other way around.
Proof that you was a pastor or whatever the case may be. But it was open. It says private, but I guess you can say it was open to the public. They didn't ask me for no ID or anything. So I decided to go there. And believe it or not, this church was slam packed to the gills with pastors that are patriots. Pastors that are patriots.
I think one of the things that was true about about the story was the FBI did confirm that they had some type of cage that they were keeping her in, but that could be anything from like a big pet carrier cage to, as some type of full-on dungeon underneath the house. I don't know what the cage was.
So it's kind of like Greg Locke without a voice. It blowed my mind that there was that many people there that actually want the church to get involved. So it gets a little better than that. So there's a man, his name is Gary Miller. Gary Miller, he's out of Texas. He's the one that set the meeting up. So I learned about these pastors, and each one of them got up there and had a few things to say. Not each one of them, they had a few speakers. And there's a lot of people, a lot of pastors out there that are tired of what's going on and putting their foot down. And this is what's incredible to me, is Gary Miller got up on stage, and he said,
Gary,
that it ain't mandatory, but he encouraged.
Is Gary Miller the black little person? Oh, that's Gary Coleman. That's Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman would have been funnier. I don't know Gary Miller, but I'm going to imagine you're talking about Gary Coleman. What you talking about, Willis?
Is Gary Miller got up on stage, and he said that it ain't mandatory, but he encourages every one of these pastors or their staff or members of the church to go get involved with their local politics. And that absolutely floored me, because I have heard just the opposite. Every church that I've tried to talk to, they said, oh no, you don't want to mix politics and religion. But these guys right here done just the opposite. So let me tell you the news that's going on. And I truly believe, now I may be wrong, and a miracle may happen, but I truly believe that we've got to go back and take the House and the Senate with patriots to build a platform before Trump can come back. Maybe they have a trick up their sleeve, but this is what I'm preparing for. So
what?
Today I called Gary up on the phone.
Seems kind of weird.
With him, but he was driving back to Texas, and he informs me that they have 2,500 pastors that are going to get involved with this movement. That is absolutely huge. And they've already got 120 pastors that are going to be running for Senate or running for office wherever they are locally. And my chin hit the ground when I found out about that.
All right, let's back up and listen to his plan one more time. What does he believe is going to have to happen for Trump to return?
It gets a little better than that. So there's a man, his name is Gary Miller. Gary Miller, he's out of Texas. He's the one that set the meeting.
Gary Coleman.
So I learned about these pastors.
What you talking about, Bonafied?
And each one of them got up there and had a few things to say. Not each one of them. They had a few speakers. And there's a lot of people, a lot of pastors out there that are tired of what's going on and putting their foot down. And this is what's incredible to me, is Gary Miller got up on stage, and he said that it ain't mandatory, but he encourages every one of these pastors or their staff or members of the church to go get involved with their local politics. And that absolutely floored me, because I have heard just the opposite. Every church that I've tried to talk to, they said, oh no, you don't want to mix politics and religion. But these guys right here done just the opposite. So let me tell you the news that's going on. And I truly believe, now I may be wrong, and a miracle may happen, but I truly believe that we've got to go back and take the House and the Senate with patriots to build a platform.
We have to take the House and the Senate with patriots to build a platform before Trump can come back. We have to take the House and the Senate with patriots. So the earliest now is 2022 on Bonafied's little plan. Other people have said, you know, if it's not by the end of this year, if it's not by the end of November, if it's not by the end of this year, if it's not by the end of January, February, March, they're out, which this is the 100th time they've moved that. I think Jaco is after Red Stepstacker because he called them out. I don't know for sure, but I heard the other day that somebody was kind of alluding to, Jaco's mad. Have you heard he got called out by so-and-so? And they wouldn't say who it was. And then they said some shit like, Jaco's probably so fucking mad, he's probably not even going to say anything about it. Just let it be. And then they called them, I don't know, shills or CIA, you know, whatever. Anyways. We have to build, actually that would be 2023 because they would get elected in 2022 and they'd be sworn in 2023. That's when they'd actually have some power around about January, February. And then Trump can come back, or would we have to elect him again?
But I truly believe that we've got to go back and take the House and the Senate with patriots to build a platform before Trump can come back. Maybe they have a trick up their sleeve, but this is what I'm preparing for. So, today, I called Gary up on the phone, and I want to do an interview with him, but he was driving back to Texas.
No, his chin doesn't have muscles. He just keeps flexing it. For some reason.
And he informs me that they have 2,500 pastors that are going to get involved with this movement. That is absolutely huge. And they've already got 120 pastors.
Hey, I just saw that. But keep us updated, man. Hope everything's going all right. I know that shit's scary sometimes. Hope everything works out all right. I wasn't trying to ignore it. I just happened. I was too far behind in chat. I just saw it.
That are going to be running for Senate or running for office wherever they are locally. And my chin hit the ground when I found out about that. So anyway, that's some good news coming down the pipeline. And these guys, I'm going to go to every one of these meetings I can. They're going to do another one in Statesville in about a month, Statesville, North Carolina. And I'm going to try to get
That's right, Rob.
With some local pastors here. Matter of fact, I even called a local pastor friend of mine and asked him if he was interested in running for something. And actually he was. But I do want to take a minute and tell you about this meeting.
So I do see a problem. And I know I've got some religious people in the audience, and maybe they'll admit this, maybe they won't, maybe they'll get mad and leave. I don't know. I do see a problem with trying to force and elect people of only one religious persuasion to the majority of seats in a state or in a country or whatever. The United States was founded on freedom of religion. They fled from the church and the tyranny to come here to seek a better life. I wouldn't want, all Jewish people. I wouldn't want all Muslim people. I wouldn't want all Christians. I wouldn't want all Satanists. I wouldn't want all of any religion to be the vast majority and try to inflict their will to bring God back to the presidency, bring God back to the state of Georgia, and make any laws that restrict anything that I want to do. That's not within the that's not constitutional either. The same as these people say they're fighting for freedom and shut people down, you also can't say that you're a patriot fighting for freedom and you want to make religious laws into state laws and then enforce them on people who don't believe in that religion.
Man here, Mark Robinson.
That's not Gary Coleman. That guy might have ate Gary Coleman, but that's not Gary Coleman.
Had a viral video that went out a long time ago about his guns, and he is actually running for lieutenant governor in North Carolina. And I'm telling you what, this
that's right, Huntsman.
Is an absolute powerhouse. We tried to get in touch with him to have him at Brad's event, and he actually Presley Presley was the guy that was going to get us in touch with him. And as you know, Presley passed away. So therefore, we didn't ever get in touch with Mark. And I didn't get to meet him yesterday. He snuck out before I was talking to other people, and I didn't get to meet him yesterday. But when I tell you that man right there can hold a crowd, I mean, he lays it out there, son.
When you said Suge Knight, it reminded me of that video I showed with that news reporter, and he's like, when Biggie says he has beef, that's like the beef you might get from complications of being diagnosed with COVID-19. That guy or whatever, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was trying so hard to relate to the black community from 20 years ago that didn't like him then either.
Next thing I want to talk to y'all about is our next event coming up.
We got an event?
It will be in Aiken, South Carolina.
Faith and Freedom. Who's going to be there?
faithandfreedomrally.com.
Oh, I think he's going to read them. That's Toto.
Yeah, Professor Toto, John DeLemme, Bonafied. I can't even read them. Pastor Todd, Coleman, Brad, Doug, Tamara, Jeff Davis, Sheila Holm, and Eric Coleman.
I can't wait to see Doug try to work a stage. There is an entirely different skill of trying to hide everything from your titties down behind a desk and trying to do a show where you can't work the phone, you can't work the internet, you can't work the software, you can't work the interface, you can't work YouTube, you can't work the chat, you can't slow it down, you can't do anything right. I can't wait until the pressure's on, people are there live, you're up on a stage, spotlight's on you, and the mic just gets some fucking feedback, and you're standing there with your flop sweat. Good luck.
Eric's the guy that owns.
I might pay pay-per-view just to see that happen live.
businessesforliberty.com, and he's doing real good. All y'all know John DeLemme. And then we got Professor Toto that's going to be there introducing everybody to TAPS. So what our plans are is we're going to try to tie TAPS in with these pastors these 2,500 pastors we're trying to put this together with. And just like I said, this is my first show. I'm just kind of practicing. I haven't even got on. I've got a Rumble channel, but I hadn't went to deal with going live. And I don't know that I am going to go live. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a few shows a couple days a week, and then where I can be traveling on the weekend until we buy that satellite. That we can start going live from all these events. Here's some stuff I've been working on. I identify as a pissed off American. I'm going to have this, from what I understand, I'll have the store, or the lady will have the store up and going here in the next day or two. We got a few different items that's going to be in there. Here's a little video of it turning.
President pissed America. Oh, this is horrible. What does it say?
All right, folks. I got a whole list of things I want to cover on here.
Hold on. Let me back up. I don't know. I identify as a pissed off American. Okay. Never mind. That is so hard to read. That is way too many letters for a Tumblr. I'm not trying to fucking run laps. I just want to see that it's got your initial on it and some weird font that people on Pinterest seem to like. Jesus Christ. You mind moving your hand? I'm going to need 1/4 rotation.
Or the lady will have
okay, I read those 3 letters. Go. Rotate.
Store up and going here in the next day or two. We got a few different items that's going to be in there. Here's a little video of it turning.
Sure. I mean, I appreciate the things he said about, it's time to stand up for, time to stand up for participating local and stop worrying about his JFK alive. I'm giving him props for that, but it's still fun to listen to him struggle.
I got a whole list of things I want to cover on here, so I'm going to have to look over here to see what I'm on.
I definitely pissed in this. It could have been. Look how many letters are on that motherfucker. That's way too many, dude. No one's going to be able to read that. You are going to develop carpal tunnel just trying to show people in the office what your cup says. I don't know, doctor. I feel like I've done this a few billion times. Killed me.
You got to understand, I'm technical difficulties. I'm like Brad Barton. Yeah, folks. Y'all got anything to say in the chat? We got 26 folks here chatting. That's cool. My email address is bonafiedtruth@gmail.com. Let me put that on here. Y'all gonna have to bear with me now. I'm getting situated. That is it right there, folks. Bonafied Truth 777.
They had an issue over over the type of intel that Doug wants to cover. He wants to cover JFK Jr. is Jesus and tunnel babies and moon prisons, and Bonafied wants to keep it more realistic. Try to get people elected, blah, blah, blah. I'm not knocking Bonafied's efforts. I think what he's doing now is much better. I think he's much better on his own doing it, too. When he tried to force Doug to do this, it made Doug look like a shill and a fake, because we know that's not what he believes. Doug wants to talk about anything that'll get him clicks so he can sell fucking patches. He doesn't want to, talk about, hey, we need to all go to the school board meeting in Richmond, Virginia tonight because this is on the docket and we're trying to get them to vote no. And he wants to instead say there's a transparent prison on the moon.
At Gmail.
And Jesus JFK is going to fly up there and whip the shit out of those bad guys.
Now listen, if y'all know any pastors or anybody that wants to get involved in your local politics, that is where I'm going with my show. I don't care if Michael Jackson is alive. Basically, the way I look at this is, if it's not protecting children or getting people involved, I could care less about any of this intel. It don't matter to me. I don't care. That's just me. You go off into la la land, and the next thing you know, JFK is Jesus. So that's where
this is the same thing I said.
Thank God that I've got the ability to do this. And this is where my numbers probably won't be nowhere near as high as everybody else's, because I'm going to get on here and tell the truth. I'm going to try to get people.
Tell me about it. Remember when you were on Doug's channel and you didn't like the fact that I was fact-checking the stuff that you were lying about? You didn't like me fact-checking the stuff that you all were lying about, and you said you could tell he can't get any viewers. He doesn't have the viewers we have. He doesn't have the subs. Nobody's watching him. Who cares? You were on that train with Doug. I remember you saying that about me. And now you're sitting there talking to 1/10 of what I've got and saying, oh, I probably won't get many viewers because I'm telling the truth. Yes. Opium sells. People want to hear what they want to happen. When you have to set them down and say, look, I know you want this to happen, but it's impossible. The things that people are telling you are going on in the background and we just can't see them. And if you're in the right dimension, you can see them, but you got to be looking in the right place. And there's all these secret coded messages in every speech and every this and every that. Those people are fucking nut jobs. It's not happening. Even Trump was talking about 2022 runs and possibly a 2024 run for a president in his last thing. People got up and left because they wanted him to say that he was taking it, tomorrow. He's going to take back the White House. Riding bareback on an F-16.
That I'm going to try to get people to get involved with their local community. I'm going to go to these events. I'm going to record these events. I'm going to post these events. And this is just me. And I don't want to have to ask nobody. I just want to be able to do what I want to do. And this is what the Bonafied show is going to be about. Now, I can go tell you about BonafiedTruth.tv. BonafiedTruth.tv is where you're going to find all your latest truth-telling podcasters. Notice there's a word in there. Truth-telling podcasters. No
truth-telling or podcast. You guys aren't technically podcasters. In the same way, I'm not, really a podcaster. I would like to have a more dedicated podcast, scripted out what we're going to talk about, this and that. But this is more of like a reactionary satire. A satire review channel, a criticism review channel. Maybe it's not a traditional podcast, right?
Whatever BS is going on that day, you're not going to find that on anything that I have to do with. And it's getting to the point. Here's I guess, let me get a little bit of a rant out. You guys, our people cannot watch the news because it's all lies. Do y'all agree? There's no reason I don't turn on the news anymore unless I just want a joke. So y'all depend on us to tell the truth, to give you as much information as we possibly can. And I think a lot of people started out that way and wanted to be that way. But I've also noticed that there's a lot of people out there that are going way, way off the deep end. And this is me. I feel like if you are not telling people to get involved and you're not saving kids, that's the two things that I'm going to be in. Here's another thing is election integrity. Election integrity. Proving, auditing elections, period. So, am I going to address the elephant?
Here we go.
Well, you know I am.
Is he going to address the elephant in the room?
First, now I got to keep you here for a little while. So, you got me off guard now. The truth will set you free, and it has done that. The truth will set you free. Toto called me up on stage. C.E. Gain. CE, what's your deal in Gaffney? You a pastor over there, or what's the deal? PJ Johnson, I'm going to tell you something. I have found that there's a lot more people out there that want to hear about JFK being Jesus than they want to go get involved with their local school board. And I'm willing to handle that simply because I don't want to get on. I just don't want to get on. I want to separate myself from that craziness. And it is crazy. I mean, whoever come up with.
Just ask yourself, have you ever seen any technology even similar to a enclosed bed that you lay in? It welcomes you, diagnoses you, performs surgery or replaces your limb or removes cancer all autonomously, and then patches you up and then spits you back out on the ground. A brand new, genetically healed med bed recipient. No, this stuff's not true. If that stuff was even anywhere close to being true, then we would have, and it was hidden from us, like they claim, then we would have a lot of fucking similar shit. Like we might not have a whole bed, but we've got this machine now that you just stick your arm in, and it suddenly it senses all your wounds. It sees if your shoulder's dislocated. It sees if your bones broke. It broke. It sets it all back and then forms a cast like that. We would have something that we could at least do a portion of what they claim this can do.
That JFK had a head wound, and he is Jesus. These people have absolutely forgot about the JFK that was a whore.
Oh, shit. Now we're getting heated. If you think JFK has a head wound and is now Jesus, did you forget JFK was a whore?
These people have absolutely forgot about the JFK that was a whore, that slept with Marilyn Monroe. So, I mean, and these are people that claim to be Christians. And if y'all want to be mad at me or whatever, I'm just going to separate myself from all this craziness.
You can be mad at him or whatever. He wants to be separated from the craziness. I'll tell you this. You can believe me or not believe me. I mean, I don't really have any proof on me right now, but I saw some of the most advanced battlefield technology that the U.S. military had for like a quick reaction wounded soldier. I was there for some trials they ran. I was there for some prototype stuff that they were using for, this soldier just got his leg blown off, or this soldier just took a round through the chest, or this soldier just, got a piece of shrapnel and, his whole face is crushed. He can't breathe through. He's not breathing. You need a trach. I saw some of the most advanced technology they had to offer that they were literally prototyping in the field, doing test runs with it. And it was nowhere close to any of that. It was cool, and it was stuff that I kind of, never really thought about, and surely this company's going to make a lot of money off that patent in maybe 10 more years, but it wasn't anything like, a fucking med bed or electronics or AI or fucking stargazing or showing your butthole to the sun. It wasn't none of that shit. It was more like different types of quick clotters, different types of injectables to clot. It was a fast reaction, tourniquets that actually sense the pressure on them and can ratchet themselves down. They can sense, not the pressure, they sense if any blood flow is making it back, how much is acceptable. They can tell if they're placed in the wrong position. They got sensors on them. Say, you're not supposed to place a tourniquet when you put it on somebody loses a leg or an arm or something within 2 inches of a joint. They can tell if they're too close to a joint. They were pretty cool, but, still nothing like a med bed. It didn't repair anything.
All this deal with these numbers, just like I said, I just can't do it. I just absolutely cannot do it. And I just want y'all to know that, and you're right about that, PJ. All news is fake news, and I got a reputation where I tell the truth. Now I've lost a lot of friends by telling the truth, but there's a good bit of people.
I'm glad you finally came back around, because while you were slumming it with Doug and calling other people Chinese whores and calling me out because I didn't get as many views as you, and that's the reason I wanted to correct the erroneous statements that you made. And while you were over there doing that, you really lost acquaintance with the truth. I was hanging out with Truth, and I said, "Hey, Truth, Bonafied? Never heard of him." It was a strange and wonderful time in my life.
People out there that can handle the truth. So, Brown House, you're exactly right. I cannot accept that. There's nothing biblical about it. Nothing biblical about it whatsoever. So y'all tell me some things we need to talk about. Got some? Has anybody, tell me this in the chat right quick. Has anybody been to an event yet? Has anybody been to an event? Hit me a 1.
Has anybody been to an event yet?
See, I like that. I'm glad that I have people out there that are not going to believe this. I knew I was not the only one. This is crazy.
Too late, Roderick. I already sent him one.
I'm reading some.
Maybe he'll answer, maybe he won't. I don't know.
No, not a concert. I'm talking about event like
a concert.
The one we're doing here.
They thought they were going to ask if there was requirements for vaccine or mask or negative test or whatever. No, not a concert. I'm talking about a real patriot event where you can be a patriot.
This is going to be a real good event. I wish I had the pictures put up. This is going to be at the Revival Barn. I know I got it up here somewhere. Here it is right here. Let me take this banner down so you can read it. Y'all may notice that Sheila is on here, and she is going to be there speaking. She is, and you know what? I have to say this about Sheila. There's 2 people that I've been paying attention to since I've been out here doing this. And Sheila and Toto, I have to say, are my mentors that keep me straight, that basically tell me who to say.
Sheila and Toto, that makes sense.
I'm my own man. But there's a lot of false prophets out there. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up while I'm sitting here talking.
Okay.
I don't believe in prophecy that somebody gets prophecy every 15 minutes.
Uh-oh.
So, I'll have Toto on here. I'm going to have Sheila on here. And I'm going to stay on this path.
Who's getting prophecy every 15 minutes? That doesn't sound like everybody that's literally on Telegram right now. Who are you talking about, Bonafied?
Path of truth, period. And if I ever, you got my word, if I ever tell you anything that is not the truth, and I find out it is not the truth, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that it is not the truth.
Professor Toto changed his name. I'm sorry, chose his name. He hasn't legally changed it. His name's still Shane Vaughn or whatever. He chose his name, claiming that he was pulling the curtain back on, the of Oz, like showing the man behind the curtain. So that's why he called himself Toto. In the movie, the dog runs over there, and barks and pulls the curtain. That's why he called himself Professor Toto.
Truth. Now, I have seen mistakes made before. That's another thing is too about dates. Dates. The world was supposed to end every day last week. Western North Carolina. But I'm going to tell you something, Lee. You need to help us put it together. We'll come out there. That is what I'm talking about, Lee, is you go out here and you get involved with your local community. And it don't matter what we're having. This next event is going to be in the revival barn in a buddy of mine's backyard. And we don't know how many people. We don't know how many people are going to show up, but I'll guarantee you it's going to be a good bit. But what I was saying before is y'all people have got to be tired of all these lies. Y'all have got to be tired of all these dates that go by and nothing ever happens. Obviously something went on yesterday with the deal with the internet, but we're still alive. We didn't have no rapture or anything to go on. And I'm not saying that there's not things going on behind the scenes, but there's a reason that they are behind the scenes. It ain't none of your business. Your opinion or you knowing about these things is not going to change a thing. The only way we're going to change anything is our number.
Yeah, you can't chalk him up as being good guy now. He's still signing people up for patriotsharing.com. He's still supporting Toto. He's still doing this pack. I don't know if you guys remember this, but one of the most hypocritical things they could possibly do is the pack bullshit. They told us that we were. Hold on, let me see here. They told us to avoid PACs. Lynn Wood said it. Mike Flynn said it. The leaders of this said it. Don't give your money to a PAC. Don't give your money to a PAC. Instead, give it directly to the candidate, because they waste money, they launder money. You don't know who it's going to. You don't know where this is. You don't know. But their PAC's suddenly good. How can their PAC suddenly be good? Even the Q movement was talking about, don't donate to PACs, don't donate directly to candidates. I know Flynn said it. I know Linwood said it. Damn it, what's her name? Sidney Powell said it. Donald Trump has said it about PACs and like shady money. You don't know where it goes. Like the whole fucking thing. They're just gigantic hypocrites.
Numbers is our numbers getting everybody involved. Getting involved with your local community. Getting involved with these local events. Getting involved, going and running for office. It is very draining. You're right, Brownhouse. How many times have we heard that it's going down tomorrow? Matter of fact, I thought it was going down today, as in because they said it yesterday. So
that's right.
These are just like I said.
So it even sounds like maybe he believed some of it, and he's now jaded to it. Maybe he believes some of it. Maybe that's why he said, how many times we heard, it's supposed to start tomorrow and then today and it doesn't start. Who knows?
Kind of getting up to the point to where I stand at. And that's just the way it is. I just need to be by myself. I'm the one, I kind of sucks, but, I just got to do it by myself. I like talking to people. I like doing interviews and stuff. I do not like talking to this camera and looking at myself. I'm a lot better off if somebody was standing here and I could rant at them. But I'm going to get over it, and I'm going to start talking to the camera and get everybody involved. So Exactly, Tim. All righty. You're exactly right. See, what I call them is front porch patriots. There's a lot of people out there that talk.
I think, Laura, I think that's the saddest part. Is they are promising these med beds that they've never seen, never confirmed, can't show us any proof of. These channels are literally sharing sci-fi movies of spaceship sets and saying proof med beds exist. That's the only proof we've ever fucking seen. And the people that are going to get hurt the most are the people that need the most help. The people that are just trying to hang on until something like that gets here. They've got debilitating pain, or they're fucking bedridden, or wheelchair bound, or you know, they promised Charlie Ward and Jason Q promised the guy that's clearly mentally handicapped that they were going to save him because they told him he was going to die from taking the first one in the arm. And then they said, well, maybe it'll fix, you know, everything else that's wrong with you. Talking about his mental health issue. Charlie said, I called up the generals. They said that we could probably get you in towards the front of the line. Yeah, fucking right. Why aren't they saving any of their friends who are dying? Oh, they got to use them on all the kids. Where are all these kids? And where did they come from in the first place? Numbers don't add up.
A big game. But you never hear anything from them. They never donate to a cause. They probably don't tithe, to be honest with you, and they just talk. They've never been to. And I asked a while ago. I didn't see a whole lot of them. People that are getting involved.
My parents could use some type of miracle fucking thing. My dad's got congestive heart failure. They told him that they're basically done with what they can do inside the body. They're just going to give him medicine and try to make him comfortable. He's got COPD. He's got a bad heart valve. He's diabetic. He's overweight. I mean, he could use a miracle bed that just made him healthy again or turned back the clock. That would be awesome. Hell, I've got fucking PTSD and can barely walk and stand some days. 2 traumatic brain injuries and can't fucking remember what my wife told me 3 minutes ago. I mean, like, I could use that shit. I don't think it's fair to prey on people who legitimately need that shit, and then you just keep feeding them enough lines to get the clicks, to get the views, to get the subs, and to maybe get a donation. That's fucked up. Either show me some fucking proof or shut your mouth.
And, you know, I didn't feel like I could get involved. Let me tell you something about me. I'm a felon, ex-mob, uneducated, fat ass. And I'm involved. Everybody knows who I am now because I voiced my opinion. And you know what? Every one of y'all can do the exact same thing. Every one of y'all. This iPhone right here is the new television set. And you can voice your opinion. So I just want to let everybody know where I'm going with this, how this is going. And, you know, this is going to be my deal. And
you might not like Elon. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk, you know, or his ideas. But he's probably the closest to a giant tech breakthrough in the medical field. As far as he has a mesh implant that is basically like a computer for your brain. So it hooks up. I know this sounds really weird. It sounds like sci-fi or Mark of the Beast, and everybody's going to be like, I won't do it. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just explaining it to you. If we're talking about how far tech has come in the medical field, Elon Musk is probably the closest because he has a mesh that goes in your brain. He's developing a mesh that goes in your brain that is basically like having a small computer about the size of your phone that is hooked up to the synapses and receptors in your brain. And basically, if you could use it, if you want to know who was the 12th president of the United States, you could just think it and operate the internet from your phone, and you would just know. Happy to see new and over 200 viewers today. Oh, yeah, thank you. At Suko, bought you 5 6-packs. I appreciate it. You could just Google search in your mind. But one of the first applications that he's mandated it to be tested for, I think it might be the first application he's mandated to be tested for, is soldiers returning home from combat missing a limb, and to see if they can get their mind to work really high tech, fake limbs that instead of having to move a certain way or pull a certain way or use their other hand or not being able to close these fingers individually or not being able to do this, that they can put that mesh and tie it in to these more high-tech limbs and have these people working, even to the point of, could you bypass an issue with the spinal system and make paralyzed people walk again? Could you get movement back in the, if you can't make them walk, could you get quadriplegics upper body movement again? Obviously not if they're like an atrophy and have been that way for a while, but if it was just recent. So if you're talking about where has tech taken the medical field and where is it headed, you may not agree with it. You may think it's crazy and just start screaming, I'll never let them put anything in my head. That's fine, but he's probably the closest to something that's like autonomous AI, using thought, using the mind, using brain frequencies, using the latest cutting edge tech.
I hope the numbers get up, but if they do, they do, and if they don't, they don't. I have realized from good friends that tell the truth that a lot of people really don't want to hear it. They would rather hear some auction off stuff about some numbers and how this adds up to that. And,
that's right, Mr. Bulldog.
JFK and Michael Jackson's alive. I'm going to ask you one question.
JFK and Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson being alive, let's just say he is. Is that going to affect you or your school board at all? Period. I'm going to go another deal. I do feel like that there was American influence, if not way more than influence, involved with 9/11. Now, let me ask you a question. Is that going to affect your local school board?
Why would Elon Musk have any of Tesla's patents? I hate to tell you, but most of Tesla's patents can just be looked up online. If you're in the school of thought that Tesla had some type of magical energy, magical transfer, magical wireless, magical transmitting, any type of magical machine, somebody would have built it by now. He's been dead forever. And technology moved on in a completely different direction.
If JFK was alive, how is that going to affect you? How is that going to affect you getting...
It does not seem that, from what I can find, that Trump is related to Tesla. I've heard that narrative a lot, that Trump's uncle was brothers with Tesla or some shit. There's a woman on Facebook called Kimberly Kukich, and she claims that she is Trump's personal, mind reader or... future seer or whatever. She claims to be the grandchild of, she calls him Nicola, and no, it does not appear that there's any ties there.
Involved with your local community.
Any more than like any other famous family might have some interaction with any other famous family. He's probably closer to Tesla's family than I am. Because Nicholas Tesla was a big deal and Trump's family's name's been a big deal for a while, you know what I mean? But he's not, I don't see any direct uncles, cousins, great nephews, none of that.
That's just where I'm at. And why the title for the show? Well, I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. Let me get into where I'm going with this. This right here, when I went over, just like I said before in the beginning of the show, I went from show to show to show. Just so happens Doug and Mike had problems. Doug said that Mike said some things, and Doug owns the No Name name, and he owns the rights to the Frog News.
Uh-oh, spilling now. What happened? Listen closely, chat. Pay attention. Back on topic.
Let me get into where I'm going with this. This right here, when I went over, just like I said before in the beginning of the show, I went from show to show to show. Just so happens
I don't. Yeah, I understand what you're going through, Laura, and it may not make sense, and you may leave here and never come back, or maybe not come back for a long time, and that's your choice. But there are plenty of people in the chat that showed up to cuss me out because I was talking about their favorite guy, and then hung around for 2 or 3 shows and thought, that does make sense. Why was I believing this weird stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you can't stay, but a lot of people come over here mad as hell, leave, and then end up coming back and watching silently for 2 or 3 shows. Then suddenly you'll see them commenting, and then you'll see them one day say, "Oh, I used to follow so and so. I can't believe I used to think that there's a prison on the moon, or that the solar simulator, or this or that." It's crazy how hearing it out loud sometimes is the trigger, because when it's all packed in your head and the person that you think is giving you good information because they like you, or because they want to take care of you, or just because they're good people, when it's all locked in your head, it sounds a lot different than when someone takes it and says, Tesla, whose patents you can literally look up on Google, and you could go to the patent office and apply to get them, had some type of secret device that no one's figured out since his death, and technology has advanced leaps and fucking bounds enough to drive cars across the country on electricity, and no one's figured out his little free energy machine yet. Like, come on now. It sounds different when someone puts it out loud for you. Like, it really does.
Doug
Whatever the issue.
and Mike had problems.
Doug and Mike had problems.
Things, and Doug owns the No Name name, and he owns the rights to the Frog News. So when that happened, I went on Doug's show, and I truly believe him. I prayed about it. I found him on the internet, and the Lord told me to go speak to him. Doug has changed his life a lot since then. Doug has been to a couple of events, and
so he's claiming that they were already having issues. And Doug and Mike were already having issues because something that Mike said, which I think is Doug dishing on Mike, because they were both saying he's going to try to say that like Mike went too far, Mike's treasury thing almost got him in trouble. Doug was just as guilty. Every bit. Everything that Mike said, just because Doug didn't say it, he was right there nodding his head and saying, that's right. That's right. We know this, guys. That's why you come back here. That's why we got the big numbers. But we don't care about numbers. This is God's channel. These are God's audience. But make sure you come back so we got big numbers. Doug was down there being fucking sexually harassing towards women in a hotel room at an event doing live broadcasts when people were calling him out and being like, I thought you were a Christian. What's this? What are these jokes? Why are you making those women uncomfortable? What's going on? And he would just ignore it. And then when it was Mike's turn to talk, he'd be like, we can't hear you. We're going out. You wanna just stay here by yourself? Just fucking crazy shit. Doug was just as guilty in all of that. But Bonafied said that he didn't have nothing to do with it. He just prayed, and God told him to go talk to Doug, and he showed up while they were already on the splits.
I feel like I helped him some, but I have big plans for what I got going on and getting things done. The whole satellite van deal, that's on me.
Yes. Bonafied is very, very close to Lynn Wood, and he claims under Lynn Wood's directive, Lynn Wood told him, we need to go out, we need to build this podcasting network. We're going to be the new news. We're going to do this. And it's strange that Bonafied, the first 2 people he approached, are well-known multi-level marketers. And Bonafied started multi-level marketing. And Chris Sky, guest on Frog News, started multi-level marketing. And Phildo is multi-level marketing, a guest on Frog News. And Toto, a Brad guest, is multi-level marketing. And Lynn Wood just happens to own the company that's going to combine multi-level marketing company Melaleuca with outside vendors for a fee for their Operation Fight Back for Freedom. Very strange that God led him to these two podcasters, and it wasn't their desire to start their pyramid scheme, and these guys have years in the pyramid business. It's very strange.
The satellite phones that we promote, that's mine.
Wait. Doug is claiming the exact opposite. Doug is claiming that he's got the satellite phones, he's got all the sponsors, he's got all the viewers, everything's set up, he's going to be exactly fine. But Bonafied just said the satellite bus, they were supposed to get like a news van that could apparently broadcast from where on scene wherever. They're supposed to get a news van with a big dish on it. He said that was my fault. Let me listen again.
I have big plans for what I got going on and getting things done. The whole satellite van deal, that's on me. The satellite phones that we promote, that's mine. What I mean by I'm the one that brought it to the table. The MyPillow deal, the codes, the whole deal is I brought it to the table. The radio station, I brought it to the table. The TV station, I brought it to the table. I see a lot bigger than most. I see where this can go huge. I've got people right now calling me to do.
So that's basically everything but what, the water company and the patches? Doug's claiming that's all his shit. He's going to have that all. Doug's claiming that's all his shit. Yeah, put me in the house. I did find a piece of property I'm kind of interested in. I don't know if I'll be able to get it or not. That's just another part of the super depressing winter that's oncoming. But we're trying.
Do TV interviews, and I could do a radio show every single day if I had the time. So I'm going to get into what the subject is with the title.
Brad is on some type of radio show. It was way up in the morning, but I think they're moving him to like a 10 p.m. Central slot now, which would be 11 Eastern, for an hour. But he played it up like it was this big, huge radio station, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I think they broadcast local in St. Louis, and which is cool, and they're on the internet. But it's nowhere near as big as he was trying to do this and trying to do that. Bonafied and Doug broke up.
All of this for the last 11 months. Well, let's just say for the last 25 years or longer, really. I have worked for myself, and I have absolutely not had to have a schedule. I can come and go as I want to. I don't have to punch no clock. I have to be nowhere. Now, I knew when I started going out here giving this intel to people and giving these people, there's a lot of these guys that's changed their mind about all this crazy intel.
The Telegram channels is a whole different show, Laura. I'm usually, like, I started off the show saying I wasn't feeling great. I've been kind of down and stuff, and that's why we're doing a little bit different show. The Telegram channels would be a whole different show. Foreign companies are infiltrating and getting Telegram channels. Influencers, such as like Santa Surfing and some of these other grifters, are getting channels and celebrities' names. They're using them to reinforce that other channels are real. So they'll use Denzel Washington to say Mel Gibson's real. They'll use Mel Gibson to say Tom Cruise is real. They'll use Tom Cruise to say Santa Surfing is real. They'll use Santa Surfing to say Linwood Forever is real. They'll use Linwood Forever to say that Trump coins hot off the press today .com / is real. And then these people from foreign countries, the one that I spoke with was from, or the one Jordan spoke with was from Vietnam. No. He claimed he was from somewhere, but he was actually from Vietnam. The one I spoke to was from Eastern Europe, or said he was. And they have P.O. boxes in the U.S. selling these Trump coins, claiming they're going to go from $130 to $10,000 a piece overnight, and they've only got a few left. But they will pay you to post that shit on your Telegram. Big money for posts on your Telegram. One post. You don't have to say I love it. You don't have to say I'm buying it. Nothing. Just put this post on your Telegram.
actually telling people to get involved, Brad Barton being one of them. And I just decided that I was going to stay in the background. But the Lord was giving me these visions. So I went over to Doug, and I figured, well, that's pretty good. Doug can handle it when I'm not here.
All right, so Bonafied wanted to stay in the background, but the Lord was giving him visions, and he said, well, that's great. Now Doug can handle it, and I can stay in the background. He didn't like being on the show with what Doug was pressing. Instead of pressing, just get involved local, he was spreading, this intel stuff.
But I moved. Something froze up.
You know that Doug, I swear, I think it goes back to his self-esteem and people liking him and him being worried that he can't do it and he can't accomplish. Doug loaded up his car before he found out he was possessed and went back home. Doug loaded up all of his possessions that would fit in his car, sold the printer that sits behind him on the show, apparently, and moved in with Bonafied after knowing him for like 2 months. Then he decided that he was possessed by the devil because he could see Bonafied's ceiling moving, and they were supposed to go to an event the next day, and Doug just got up and left, said, I called Bonafied on the way, told him what I saw, and told him that I was going to go to the priest to get rid of this devil, and then I was going back to Virginia. Sounds like the ultimate and reliable work partner.
Am I good? Am I good? Let me make sure. Let me read a couple comments here. So, here's what I'm telling you, folks. The Lord is the one giving me these visions. That's gave me this vision, gave me these ideas. And what I want to tell you is I was trying to push it off on other people. It's my fault. It was my visions. The Lord put it on my heart, and I've always tried to push it off on somebody else. So, I am now committed to doing this every single day until I guess we get the job done. And the difference between me and
they're not bad, Laura. They're not going to go up in value like people are telling you. They're not. I don't know what you paid for them, but they're not worth what you paid for them. You just lost some money on them, but they're a cool trinket. I tried to get, I don't know if it'll ever show up, but I tried to get the company to send me one for free. They're not going to go up in value. They're not worth $130 a piece. They damn sure ain't going to be worth $10,000 a piece. But it was a lesson learned, and you got a cool thing with Trump's picture on it. You can put it up and give it to your kids or do anything. But I wouldn't buy any more, and I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't be like, this is my retirement. I'm going to take all my money and give it away because these are going to come through, baby, or something like that.
and Doug, and where I guess you could say we had a falling out. I didn't know we had a falling out. Matter of fact, me and Doug, we get the job done. And the difference between me and Doug, and where I guess you could say we had a falling out. I didn't know we had a falling out. Matter of fact, he spoke to me at all. I don't know what happened. But the difference is I'm the peach farmer and not the regular farmer, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not one. I own businesses. Every decision that I make affects over 30 families.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, so he's going to go into like he's got people that depend on him and Doug doesn't. He's just got his totally heterosexual roommate he's lived with for 30 years without a wife. But anyways, it's not a big deal that, the older people get and the more wealthy they get, the more conservative they seem to turn. Not everybody, Trump's not everybody's guy. I voted for Trump. I think Biden right now is doing a really shitty job. I voted for Trump. I think Trump would have done better so far. But Trump is so divisive. He's not going to be everybody's guy. You're not going to have entire families that all agree on the guy. You're not going to have everybody love the guy. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he says what he means. He's kind of blunt. I like Trump less about every day he doesn't come out and say something, a strong and absolute statement about QAnon being fake and to release the prisoners in in D.C. that were just inside. Some of those people did illegal shit, and they should go to trial for it. Some of those people just entered the building. That's ridiculous. I think he should take a bigger stand on that. Every day he does not come out and shout that from the fucking rooftops, I like him a little bit less. But yeah, he's not going to be everybody's guy. Even he even tore up some Republicans, and they said no, I can't do the Trump thing. He was my guy. I voted for him, but that doesn't mean everybody else is.
I can't shoot from the hip. I can't go home when I feel bad. I guess I'm the responsible one. And I
don't shoot from the hip. I can't go home when I feel bad. That was a shot at Doug being possessed. Doug just left and said he was suddenly possessed and had to go see a priest in Virginia. Couldn't come back.
I felt like that I could keep on doing like I was doing in behind the scenes and joining shows and get on there with Doug. Doug
at least Bell, yeah.
Done anything wrong. It's just we see two different ways. And my way, just like I said, the deal with the TV station and them calling me, the deal with the radio station and us doing an hourly show, all that is my stuff that the Lord gave me. And I just want to be clear. There's no harsh feelings, anything like that. But I'm going to be doing my own thing. And I'm not going to lead people down the wrong path. I'm not going to get on here and say, Michael Jackson is alive, and JFK's Jesus, and Nassar is going to hit tomorrow, and we all going to be rich, and these people are going. Somebody's going to pay your house off. I just want to tell the truth. I got the name Bonafied for telling the truth, and I guess you can say being an asshole, because I'm going to tell you the truth if it hurts your feelings or not. If you come up to me and ask me, does this dress make me look fat? And I'm going to ask you why you want to blame it on the dress. So that's just me. But I just want to let everybody know what I was doing. I'm going to have interviews. I've got some huge things going on. I'm going to start interviewing these pastors that are patriots. I'm going to start.
Don't let Madison Marquette get to them first. You better interview them quick.
Anything to do with child sex trafficking, I'm going to have it on here. Obviously, we'll have to do that on Rumble. I have got a huge whistleblower that I've been talking about for the last few months that I may still have to keep him anonymous because he's got some things going on, but it is going to cover child sex trafficking in my hometown of Spartanburg, South Carolina, and 100% proof that it's going on. So, and I'm going to get everybody involved in these events. I want everybody, to me, this deal with the churches getting involved, that just lets me know. Well, I'm going to give you, for instance, my wife asked me, why are you going to that meeting? Well, the Lord put it on my heart to go to that meeting. And then I found out they've got 2,500 pastors that are Greg Locks without a voice. I'm going to give them that voice. That is where I got to be, is to promote the truth and get people involved. And I could care less about any of these dates. So I just want to close with that.
Some people do stuff like this for money. Some people do stuff like this for donations and money and support. I've noticed a lot of them that don't tend to be big on donations and money and how much they can make. Either later get really big on money, or they seem like the type of person that mentally and I guess, physically, they've never been in a leadership position. They've never had people pay attention to them or listen to what they had to say or look for their advice or ask them for advice. Or so I was told in the military that when the shit hits the fan, when something blows up, when something goes wrong, when somebody's shooting at you, there's two types of people. There's a person that'll yell and scream and jump up and down and say, we got to do this. And most people, if they could understand that person, have no desire to follow that person. And then there's a person that is calm and collected and has been there before and knows exactly where we're going, what we're going to do, and how we're going to address this. Because you've got to absorb some of that, and you got to be the leader. Those are the leaders, right? You look to the calm ones, the ones that are handling it better than they fucking should. They're handling it so good it's scary. These people have never been leaders. They've never been in a leadership role. They've never had anybody ask them for their opinion. If something blew up, they'd be fucking running out the door and pissing all over themselves while trampling children to get out, and maybe the whatever was coming for them would attack the children first. And now that they've got a little bit of power because hopium sells so good, and I've proven this, my whole channel was talking shit about their claims. I made one video claiming that Nasara Gassara was starting, and it got over 1 million or almost 1 million views on all the platforms it was on. Now, usually I get a few thousand views on my other channel. I got almost 1 million views because I was selling hopium. So hopium sells. They get this huge influx of viewers, and they don't think there's. They either don't think or they don't care. They think the reason the viewers came is because of them, because they're good hosts, because they look good on camera, because their stream is good. It's not. Doug, I mean, no, I'm not being mean to Doug, but Doug's not exactly like the world's sexiest man. He chooses his words very poorly. He can't pronounce a lot of things. He's dyslexic. He says shit backwards. He fucks shit up. He uses the wrong intel. He can't even run the stream. He's always clicking on the wrong shit. He's turned his stream off probably 100 times by accident. They're not coming for Doug the host. They're coming because they know that he will give them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. But Doug thinks they're coming for Doug. Doug thinks that, you know, he's this patch salesman and people want to listen to him. He's got a little bit of power. He's selling this MLM. He's going to be at this major speaking event because he's the fastest growing patch pyramid scheme guy ever with this LifeWave company. People hang on every word. He'll say shit like, what if I told you to do this? Would you, what would you do, just to see how people will react? He's got this complex now where people listen to him. He does not want to give that up. He just doesn't want to give it up. He's never had it before. It feels good to him, and now he's stuck with it. And even though he grifts for money, I would say Doug probably loves the attention just as much. There's people like that. There's also people that I think personally stopped believing this shit maybe months ago, but they know that this is how they make their income. They know they burnt so many bridges they can't go do anything else. They know the moment they stand up, half or probably more than half, 90% of their audience is going to call him a shill, piece of shit, CIA, cabal, deep state, and leave and run away. They're not going to get any donations. Nobody wants to listen to them. Their YouTube channel will die. They can't give it up. They're in too deep. And then I think that they're also, the last group of people would be the people that are literally placed there to make us look crazy. Because when we're here, and I know I voted for Trump, but I'm not the same as Scott McKay or Doug Kuzma. That's fine, and I know that, and that's one of the reasons I do my show, is to show there's a difference between me and these people who are wanting to attack politicians on the streets with tomahawks. That's not me. But when other people outside the internet, people who don't know me but see me as a vote or a number or where I live or what my income is or whatever, when they see Scott McKay talking about we're gonna bring the blade of war and attack Congress because they don't want to smoke our peace pipe, they see all of us. So if it gets to the point where something happens and they start pointing blame at these people on YouTube and these people who do this and these people who listen to that and there's people who, I want to make it absolutely clear that what I was doing was trying to discourage these rumors, trying to discourage these conspiracies, trying to discourage any violence, trying to discourage all of this shit that's based on lies. If it's based on lies, I'm trying to discourage you from getting caught up in it. I don't want to be labeled with them. I don't want to go down with the ship. I know they're fucked up. I'm not. It seems more and more to me, and there's people that don't agree with me with this. Like I talk to Jordan Sather all the time, and he just had him on Griftbusters, like podcast we do. He believes in the original Q theory. I'm moving more to the thing that Q was a busy game. Keep people busy. keep people thinking. If Trump accidentally won in 2016 and accidentally pulled it off, or maybe they let him win to give us the illusion of choice. Now is the time that they want division, division, division. This has been the greatest transfer of wealth from the lower and middle class to the upper class. The greatest transfer of wealth from the lower and middle class to the upper class during this pandemic has been the biggest in all of recorded history. There are worldwide protests demanding governments and officials to be held accountable and to have transparency. There are worldwide protests for transparency and accountability within our government and our leaders. And it's being overshadowed by, look how crazy these guys are. Linwood thinks that Walmart puts baby parts in their bakery goods. Man takes kids to the desert, kills them with harpoon gun because he thinks they're reptilian-blooded. It's being overshadowed by that, and if they need to, that group, the radicals, the ones they're always labeling, will do more violence. And that'll be the way they try to shut down the rest of the movement. They'll demonize anybody who wants transparency or accountability or wants answers. They'll say, oh, you're part of that Q group. You're part of those people who think reptilians. You're part of the people who showed up, and attacked this place. You're part of the people who killed their kid in the desert. You're part of the people who showed up with a tomahawk. You're part of the people who... And once they demonize us, we can't gain new people. And the people that already were kind of weak-kneed and didn't know if they should be here or not, but were still on our side, are gone. They've got the numbers again. I think they're building up an army of crazies to use them when they need an army of crazies. Let me play this.
And
this show ended up going longer than the regular show somehow.
Be the one to tell the truth. I'm not even going to say rumor has it, because that throws you off a page.
When every Department of Homeland Security statement comes out warning about homegrown terrorists, QAnon theories, they think that shit about the contest in 2019, and they are becoming disturbed and more radical over the pandemic fixer. When that's out of all the DHS when that's number one, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
I just soon sit here and talk to three people, to be honest with you. So, and I hope all them guys kind of see it my way later on. I don't think they will. I mean, nothing's changed in the last 11 months. Since
I would be super careful going to any type of protest or any type of gathering or any type of meeting, because you might be going to an accountability protest and transparency protest because you want the investment reports from our sitting Congress to be public, and then suddenly an entire group about 1/5 your size shows up armed to the teeth, and they're there to overthrow the local police department, and now you're guilty by association. You got it.
Since January the 6th, we've had dates and dates and dates. I'm going to tell you the date that's going to change your life. That's the day that you get involved. You get off the front porch and you go get involved. So I want y'all to have a blessed night. And y'all pray for me. I'm asking you to pray for me, because this is something that I'm not used to. This is something that it's a new adventure for me. I'm going to some huge events.
For a lot of recorded history, different religions and different practices and belief systems believed that somehow that blood was the life force or life energy, or kept you alive, or kept you young, the fountain of youth, and did that. Adrenochrome's an actual thing. It's a clotting agent, and it's actually no, it's not a clotting agent. It's hold on. I can't remember now. I used to know. I used to have a little vial of it. It's a powder. It is protected by the oxidation of adrenaline. Donation.
Shout out
You
to
idiot,
Laura
thank
for
you.
hanging in there. Welcome back again, Will.
There you go. Thank you, Q Idiot. Shout out to Laura for hanging in there. Welcome back, Will. Thank you. I'm glad to be back on the channel. It is an actual drug used for it was renewed, discovered adrenochrome may be produced normally as an intermediate in the foundation of neuromelanin, therefore verified by detoxified, at least partially glucose. Some studies have found genetic defects in the gene. Oxidation, produced by the oxidation of adrenaline, epinephrine, the derivative of homeostatic medication, despite the compound's name. It is not a chromium oxide. It is used for... I don't know why I thought I was wrong suddenly. I know I've had to look this up 1,000 times. It does promote clotting. Its main medical use is to slow blood loss by promoting clotting in open wounds. It's available for purchase online by researchers, with most outlets stating its source is synthetic, and its uses are inhibition of COMT, which deactivates certain neurotransmitters, and the synthesis of prostaglandins, fats involved with blood clotting. When asked for comment, the University of Auckland neuropharmacology and neuroscience department said it wasn't on their radar. They don't actually. It's not that good actually. You can buy it in a little sample jar, and it's a white powder. It's from the oxidation of epinephrine, synthetically made in a lab. It doesn't have anything to do with like Adreno this or Adreno that. I don't know. It is what it is. There's no signs that it does any of the things it does. The whole narrative with the children, of course there's trafficking, of course there's kidnapping. It's horrible. It happens to women and children, and sometimes men, more often than to women and children, but sometimes men as well. But the numbers they're using and the amount of people the amount of people that they are accusing just don't add up. Just don't add up. When they're talking about, when they say 800,000 a year, they don't tell you that 95% of those are found within a few days. That's everybody who's ever called the cops and said, oh my God, I'm panicking, I can't find my kid. And the cop shows up and is like, it's behind the bush, or it's on the other side of the playground, or we found it immediately. That happens a lot. So if the number was really 800,000 kids, and this has been going on for 10 goddamn years, and they're just disappearing, and they're even claiming the number's higher than that. That's just what gets reported. It could be up to 10 times higher than that. Then every third person you know that has children would be missing at least one of them. Like, come on. There's not that many missing kids. There just isn't. They inflate the numbers. They pick and shoot. They cherry pick what they want. They use numbers that they know are misleading. Well, some people know are misleading. The number they're using is literally for every kid that has ever been reported missing for that year. And like I said, I think 92 or 94% of them are found within 24 hours. Some immediately. Like the cop just shows up and says, ma'am, don't panic. I'm sure he's here somewhere. Oh, there he is on the monkey bars. Have a good day. That's the vast majority of the cases. The second highest case is something to do with domestic issues or custody issues. So out of the remaining percentage, let's say it's 92, let's go with the low one. Out of the remaining 8% of that 800,000, over half of those are Dad's visitation was supposed to end at noon. Here it is at 3. I need an official report filed. This is kidnapping. My mom come and got the kids, and she said that until I got rid of my bulldog that she thinks is a dangerous breed, I couldn't have it back. She hasn't brought it back to me. That's kidnapping. I need a report. I was supposed to have visitation today. It's court ordered. I met her here. This is where we're supposed to meet. She never showed up. When I called her, she said, "Fuck you." She's seeing her boyfriend. That's kidnapping. I need a report. That's the other half of the 8% that's left. Like the numbers are just not there to support that every Democrat or every other congressperson or every person that gets famous in Hollywood and blows up. The numbers just aren't there.
That I've been invited to. That people there I didn't even know who I did. Let me just keep my mouth shut. I've got some huge things going on. And
big things.
And just like I said, I'm asking people to pray for me. I'll pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. And if you want to hear the truth, and if you can handle the truth, this is the challenge you want to be on. Let me go in here.
And I've said this before. To tell you the truth, if more fucking people were worried about what was going on in their neighborhood, down the street, in the subdivision across the road, in their school system, instead of finding Nancy Pelosi's secret online messages and videos of her having a hot dog party with Obama and Biden, they would be much more likely to save a child from trafficking, to save a child that's being kidnapped. I know. It happened in my community. I was part of it. Like, I was literally part of it. I know that it's easy to do in your own fucking backyard. In the community I grew up in, I was part of an issue where a child was being taken against their will, and just stumbled upon it. But I also wasn't on the boards all day or Telegram trying to figure out what the latest clone looks like and how Joe Biden's ears are shifted this week and why Nancy Pelosi is sacrificed 32 ravens to the god of youthfulness. Like, just crazy shit going on. And can I see the prison on the moon?
Before I go and give you, I didn't even make a banner up. Create banner.
Hey, Allie.
Here's my new website. I'm going to have the podcasters. The website belonged to me. The podcasters, the top 6 or 8 or 10 podcasters, I'm going to cut it down to their latest video, not their latest 3 videos. It takes too long to do the work. So you can find me at bonafiedtruth.tv. And I'm going to start doing some shorter videos, rants, and talk about stuff that I got on my mind. It may be coming from my car. I don't necessarily have to do a podcast daily, but I'm going to do interviews with real people. If you have something to say, contact me.
I got something to say.
Address right here. And I do have the sponsors. Let me see right here. Yep.
I guess he's going to go to his sponsors, so I could really care less about his sponsors. Then he's going to pray. Whatever. I'm not going to steal his prayer. It actually turned into a full show, even though I planned on finishing early. I got carried away talking too much. But thank you for joining us. Sorry it wasn't like a regular show. It's just, I don't know. The weather change. I've just been having a couple rough couple of days. I'm working on game night stuff. Make sure you check out Cold Beer Creations if you don't mind. And if the mods on Telegram would throw that out every once in a while, and make sure everybody in Telegram is subscribed to Cold Beer Creations. If you can get the link, or I'll get it, and then you can save it somewhere. I would appreciate it. Thank you for the donations tonight. We're always thankful for the donations when they come in, and that's Bonafied's story, at least. I mean, he's still doing some of the stuff that we despise. But at least he called out some of the narrative about the stories they're sharing, about the news that or what they're calling news, what they're calling intel, what they want to spread, what they want to do. Doug being possessed by the devil and saying mean stuff to everybody. He called Mike crying and said, "I love you, man. That was the devil who yelled at you. I was possessed by the devil." Whatever. But that's it for me tonight. I'll try to be in better spirits tomorrow. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, and we're getting close, Things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, getting close, getting close.
Something is not right here, guys. Pedo Joe showing his behind, which you can't do. It's confirmation of what we've heard. The ELECTION to the FRAU.
No, the fall of the cabal is not real.
But things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, and we're getting close, Things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, getting close.
Lots of stuff's going on. Everything is coming together. But this is just the first domino to start falling. I believe that. We're going to find out. Don't take my word for it. Look into it. You'll see.
Things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, and we're getting close. Things are happening, and we're getting close, okay? Things are happening, getting close.
Quit listening to the mainstream media because they're liars. They are liars. That's what liars do. They lie. They're liars. I can't believe they would lie. You might say, okay, Brad, well, what's going to happen now? Well, I don't know. I think we all know that.
There's typically a bot in the chat that tells you how to donate, but I don't know if I would donate yet. You might hate me by tomorrow, or the next day, or it depends on who I cover next. A lot of people used to get real comfortable with me covering people they didn't like, but then when I started covering the ones they like, they get mad. You don't have to donate. It's all free. I appreciate it though. There's a bot that pops up in the chat. Make sure if you're on YouTube and you want to see the bot, or you want to see everybody who's chatting, that you click up in the top right corner, the three dots, or the drop-down menu, and put it on live chat instead of top chat. Live chat. It'll show you all the messages, because I guarantee you're missing some if you're on top chat. Have a good night, everybody. Here's the Ballad of the Street Fighter. The Ballad of the Street Fighter.
In a car by yourself, probably with your saddle shoes on and your sister's bobby socks.
Patriot, meet diver, go do a little dance with this tomahawk. Rider coming to your town on his motorbike. Or maybe not. Patriot, meat biter, technology is his middle name.
Now being conducted here and also across the world. See, we've got a...
You'll find out. I've been round and round with Scott over the shit he does.
It's like we have the wrong camera working on it.
Patriot, meat beater, bringing the love to his fellow man.
You want to kill yourself? No problem. I'll hand you a rusty butter knife. You can cut your head off right in front of me. I have no problem with that if that's what you want to do.
Patriot, weak fighter, give us a call, we can do it all. Patriot, street sweeper.
All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm doing a new thing where I'm probably going to be pulling videos down. I can't lose another channel after I build it up. This is, how I feed my family and stuff. So I'm probably going to start pulling videos down and maybe upload them on Odyssey or whatever. But you have until I wake up in the morning. If you need to rewatch it, you want to watch it again, you missed the part, whatever, you have until I wake up in the morning. That's when I'm pulling it down. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.